they must respond. So, Christian, I think you'll issue summons that the CS for industry appears. Honorable members, I'll talk to CS for Treasury, Honorable Mbadi. He called, he's in some meetings with the World Bank. So after that, once he finishes early, if he finishes early, he will join us. If not, we'll agree on a date that is coming to this committee. Auditor?
Before that, Chair.
Yes.
What about the other minister?
Who?
Minister for Industry. Was he not
Yeah,
summoned?
we've said we issue summons.
Was he summoned and he has failed to turn up?
He has failed. I don't think he's taken this committee serious, and that's why we've asked the clerk to do summons.
And before the summons, then there is what is usually done so that at least he will take it seriously. What if one fails to turn up?
Yeah, we will pronounce a charge on his face. Yeah, we'll pronounce a charge on his face. And the Minister for Education, thank you for coming. You can imagine the trouble your friends are going to face.
Thank you, Chair. I'm well guided about that. I'll not try it at home.
So thank you, honorable members. I think we have several issues. One, Karatina University, National Bank, Moi University, and the ministry. So I think we will start with the issues touching on the ministry. Auditor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the issues to do with the CSC Minister of Education, we are talking about the Auditor General's report for the year 2018/2019, in which we have an issue to do with non-compliance with IPSAS 35. And I filed this letter. I can go through the paragraph. The report indicates that the statement of financial performance reflects performance of the university and that of Rivertex East Africa Limited, a subsidiary of the university, on the face, and therefore the presentation is not in line with any non-financial reporting framework. Further, the investment that the university has made in Rivertex East Africa Limited has not been recognized in the university's accounting records, and therefore consolidation of the two entities cannot be properly achieved with the creation of an unidentified suspense account. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Bwana Waziri. Auditor, break it down. What is
Thank
the
you.
issue?
I think the issues is raised a bit wide. Some I need to split out, and I've done a response where we've dealt with the issues that we thought are directly linked to us. Then the teams are here from all the universities, and they'll be able to speak to the various specific aspects that directly concern them. But I can give a response on the general position on the questions that were presented to us.
Every member has a response.
It's a 4-page response with the attachments from CS1 to CS7.
Yes, proceed, Waziri.
Yes, so with your kind permission, and I want to thank the committee for inviting us to come to respond to the issues that are before us. The question that was presented to us was related to the details of a loan facility advanced to Moi University as an investment in Rivertex East Africa Limited. Without going into too many details, Rivertex East Africa Moi University incorporated a company called Rivertex East Africa Limited on the 16th of August 2007. The company is registered under the Companies Act, and the shareholders are Moi University, which owns 49,999 shares, and the office of the Vice Chancellor of Moi that owns 1 share. The university acquired the assets of the former Rivertex East Africa Limited through mobilizing funds amounting to 200 million from internal sources and a loan of 50 million from its pension fund. Since that particular takeover, the university has spent about 479,833,331 to acquire and revive the company over the years. The objective of the facility was to offer training, research, extension, and commercial purposes. The facility in question arose out of an agreement dated 11th of July, that is a loan that was between the Exim Bank of India and the government of Kenya, and we've attached a copy of the loan as CX1. From it, we note that the loan was for USD 29,950,000, and it was for purposes of upgrading Rivertex East Africa Limited by financing the purchase of eligible goods and services. The report of these goods and services of the Inspection and Acceptance Committee is attached as CS2, indicating what heavy items or equipment that were presented. So as a ministry and Moi University were not party to the execution of that agreement because it was a government between Government of Kenya and the Exim Bank of India. And I think Treasury would be able to give more information on that facility. The second issue related to details of unserviced understated long-term loan from the Government of Kenya between Moi University and Karatina. I think that is part of...
Honorable members, I don't know if you want us to exhaust that bit first before we go to the next.
Yes.
Yeah. So CS, you said Moi University incorporated Rivertex East Africa Limited.
Yes.
But somewhere else you said Moi University acquired assets of former Rivertex East Africa Limited.
Yes, they were acquired through this particular company that was formed. The company that belongs to Moi University.
So they formed East Africa, Rivertex East Africa Limited. And the other one was Rivertex East Africa Limited.
Yes. By mobilizing.
But it's the same thing.
Yeah. No, the other one is Rivertex. It was called Rivertex.
I'm reading what you've, what your response is. And if they were taking it up, why register another one?
I don't know the reason, but sometimes I understand when institutions want to do commercial activities that are not in line with the actual mandate of the organization, they do what they call special purpose vehicles to use in that activity. That's perhaps the reason why it was formed, but they are all here. They can answer to that question.
Maybe VC, you can answer.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. We have our former VC here who was involved in that. He could shed some more light with your permission.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. I think your question was why.
Chairman, so that you can, a viability study which was done to give you impetus or the authority to see that the company you are taking over is going to be beneficial to the public, and it will not be a waste of taxpayers' money. And, if you have found that it's going to be profitable Because as far as we are concerned, the auditor queried your reason of why you acquired this company. At the end of the day, this institution which converted into a company, and to us the way things look like is it was a method of how to spoon public money for a purpose which was known to you alone as a CEO at that time, the accounting officer. So when you're answering, bear that in mind, that you are the one who was accountable. And anything which is found to be a loss to the public money, you are the person involved about to refund the same personally. So don't take it just for granted that you have come just to give us a statement and run away.
Yes, Honorable Mina.
Thank you, Chair. I'm trying to understand a few things here, and I've got questions to...
Just a minute. Former VC, just note down. I realize you're not writing, so that you respond to every question. Yes, proceed.
I want to ask a few questions to help me understand. In this response, we are told that the university showed interest to acquire these rivertex. And in that regard, they were able to establish a company to do so. And they even shared out the shares. But within the same response, we are told that they were not part of the negotiation or execution of the agreement. How can we connect the two? That's my first question. The second one, I want to understand how the shares were distributed. We are told one, I'm trying to locate where but a share went to VC. So there's university, there's VC. I also need to understand that. Thank you.
Yes, Bwana VC, starting with
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. You asked about whether we did.
Madam, who are you?
Sorry,
Just a minute. Who are you? Okay. Proceed.
I think, first of all, the reason why there is a difference in the names, Rivertex East Africa Limited, is because originally it was Rivertex Limited. Now, when we were actually purchasing it, we knew it wasn't a receivership. And when people realized that it was going to be bought by Mo University, the ones who were not actually being paid were waiting for us to take. So what we did was we came up with the name Rivertex East Africa Limited to separate ourselves from the ones who used to have it. So that's why we have that change. Now, secondly, about whether we did due diligence. What we did here was that we actually did what we call a feasibility study. And when we had a business plan to make sure that what we were getting was not going to be a problem to the university and also the public. And after doing so, we knew it was going to be mainly for training purposes, research, extension purposes. So, and also, the money that we used were internally generated. They were money within the university. So we did not take any money from outside. Now, the issue about the shares now, that's a legal issue because we were advised by the legal department that there got to be a 1% share to somebody. So the Vice Chancellor then, which had 1% share, knowing that when he leaves office, whoever comes will also have another 1% share. That's the arrangement that we had at that time. And we didn't see any problem then. So I think Chair.
Who advised you about the one share?
The legal department within the university.
What was the rationale?
Well, like I said, what it was an advice to us. The rationale was now based on the practice.
I think, Chair, under the Former Companies Act, if you had former company, you had to have at least 2 shareholders. And so Moi University as an institution had the higher number, and then the office of the vice chair, vice chancellor had 1 share in order for them to meet that legal requirement. That's the rationale.
Did you seek approval from your parent ministry?
Yes, Chair. Well, after we had done the business plan, we went through all procedures that are required to council up to the Ministry of Higher Education at that time.
You can share with us from the feasibility report to the business plan.
All those things were submitted to
You
the
can share with us.
ministry. I don't have the documents, because I've been away for 17 years now.
The current VC, do you have that documentation? Sorry? But VC, we have an audit issue. We are discussing Rivertex. You know we've been on this issue so many times. How do you come in a meeting and say you're going to provide?
Honorable Chair, the feasibility study, we were not able to get the document.
Where is the document?
In our records, Honorable Chair, we were not able to get the records.
Where, oh, sorry?
We were not able to get the records.
Where are the records? Yeah, how do we ascertain that you had them?
Honorable Chair, again, what we have is the document for incorporation.
Yes, continue.
We have the...
And as he answers, let's so that he can answer them together, for it involves the same issue. I'm still back to Professor Mibei,
Malik.
so that I can have the current VC answering the same. When you carried that feasibility study, which you have just told us about, the projections and the resultant of the feasibility study, after you did so, how long did you stay in the university to implement the same and see that you have realized all the projections? Because as we study now, this Rivertex has been causing losses to the university, and it has been operating through losses. It has never earned any profit or anything profitable to the institution or even to the public. And more to that, when we talk of, there is no taxpayers' money which was used, but internally produced, generated money from university. Are you separating this university from the public so that the money it produces, it is its own, not public money, in despite of if it taxpayers' money, or if it is still the money within the public which it was acquired on behalf of the public? And then, that's what the feasibility study which you did. Where is it for us to look at it and see that you under future and you realize that future? If not so, then whoever took that risk shouldn't be accountable. Because you see now what we have here is something which has acquired a loss of about 479 million Kenyan shillings. Who is that long? Who carried that? Who carried out that long feasibility study? Because he used his knowledge to make the public get into a loss, and he must be accountable. Or how did it work? That's what we want to know.
Okay, Chair, I think I'll be very clear here. Number one, about taxpayers' money. All monies that are raised either through parallel program or whatever program within a university, they are taxpayers' money. What I meant, Chair, at the time was that it was not a loan. So if I did not clear that one, I would have wanted to say, I didn't want to say that it was not taxpayers' money. It's really taxpayers' money because at the end of the day, we collect from the public. And so only that we did not borrow from any bank or anywhere. Okay, then the issue of feasibility study, we had a team of people. It took a long time for this to be done. And we did, we engaged some experts, so some even from Rivertex itself, the ones who had gone. And we had about 3 months or so of intensive actually research on that. And after we got the feasibility study, we actually prepared a business plan, which was showing him where do we break even and all that. So from then, after it was acquired now, it was the management of Rivertex who were on daily basis running the place to ensure that what was actually put in the business plan was realized. So I think at some point also, yeah, we need also maybe contribution from the management of Rivertex, because now they are the ones who sat there on daily basis to make sure that this was done. So,
Professor,
yeah.
Where are the documents? In fact, the auditor says the documents were not consolidated.
Chairman, actually I was getting to that because even looking at the response and what the auditors have raised, the auditors are very clear. They're saying you needed to have combined items like assets, liabilities, net assets, equity, revenue, expenses, cash flows of the controlling entity with those of its controlled entities. But here we have a story on how it was acquired, the loan, the how much, while the auditors are asking for this document. Just so that we're clear on what we're doing.
And to clarify, the same chairman, I have had something new. You know, the more the professor talks, he leaves us more confused than the way we started. What he's telling us that after they bought and formulated that company which bought, then they left the running of Libertex to the people who were there running it before, to the people who are running it to be insolvent.
He actually says to the subsidiary of the university. Combine those questions. I want the Honorable Bissau to ask a question and answer them together.
Thank you, Chair. For the record, Maurice Kakai Bissau is my name, a Member of Parliament for Kiminini constituency, Trans Nzoia County. Professor Mibei, you talked about funds having come from your internal kitty, but in the report I see from the ministry there is 29, call it $30 million. Was that during your time? And secondly, I heard you say that you had experts from Rivertex helping you to go through the process. How would you expect them to give you a fair view of the institution, which was crumbling by then, for you to make a buying decision? And thirdly, what did you buy from Rivertex apart from land? Were their machines operational? And lastly, also to the Minister, Education, the institution, archiving is part of what the course you do give, right? Archiving, filing, archiving, record management, isn't it? You have a degree in record management.
You offer.
You offer, right?
We offer, yeah.
So you have students in record management faculty giving that degree, and you yourself cannot even keep a single important document where you invested millions. When it comes to entrepreneurship, I think the visibility study was just sort of patched up. if you had a proper visibility study, this was not an investment to, to engage the Kenyan taxpayers. And we continue seeing this. I think this is the third or fourth time we are meeting. Institutions that have got a lot of land. They are even giving things like, livestock management. You cannot generate an income. You're talking of entrepreneurship. You cannot, how do we expect to get graduates who will come here on the market and really excel in this particular discipline? If you professors, because you're among the elite, if we count in terms of the elite, and I think Professor Airo will agree with me, when we are talking about the elite, you will take it later, Waziri.
Why can't we, honorable members, why can't we finish with the,
okay.
the Prof?
I'll back my question, Waziri.
Please, thank you. Yes, Prof?
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. I think let me be clear here that we did not actually, after we purchased the Rivertex, we did not go back to the ones who used to own it. They would actually, currently there is an MD Rivertex which took over the place, which actually rent the facility after it was bought. So we didn't go back to the persons that used to have it. No, that did not happen. So it was actually, up to today, it is managed by the people with registration, Rivertex East Africa Limited. So I should be very clear on that one. Then about experts from outside. The experts we had were people within the university, and there was only one person who actually used to be a Rivertex.
Chair,
Yes.
I still don't understand what Professor means by still being run by the people who are there. Can you come out clear? Is it being run by the university, as the honorable members, or the people who sold the shares to you?
It's being,
Honorable Chair, with your permission, if we can get the MDs with us here of Rivertex to assist also in getting.
Yeah, tell him to come. Tell him to come, but as he comes, Prof, as he comes, look for him, but as he comes, a university has bought Rivertex. It becomes yours. Why do you keep on talking about, because it is assumed that any employee is your employee as a university. Professor Mipe, is that clear?
yeah.
They are not third parties. It is the property of the university, right?
Yes.
Yeah, please discuss in that context. Answer, proceed on the other questions.
And Chair, even as we bring in the MD, how long has the MD been there? We expect you being the Vice Chancellor, you're in the driver's seat. The dashboard is in front of you. So most of the issues should pick them up. But again, to the issue of the MD, how long has the MD been there?
Honorable members, let's be a bit methodological. We have about 5 questions to the professor. Let him answer, then we ask some more. Yes, Prof.
Okay. So the other part which I was to answer was about the assets. Now, in Rivertex, there are machines and there is also land. So when we acquired them, all of them were put under Rivertex East Africa Limited. And they belong to East Africa Limited, which is owned by Mo University. There was also another question.
No, perhaps just break it down. What do you mean land? How many acres? Machines? What kind of machines?
Chairman, when we took over, the old machines, which was...
But Chairman, to assist on that, it's not in telling us, because what the auditors raised is that there is no documentation. And what are we also making reference to? Because the auditors should have looked at them, and that is why it's an audit query, that you did not combine the, it's called what? Consolidation documentation when you acquired the institution.
Chair, I know we did.
Because otherwise, it becomes just storytelling. Prof,
Yeah.
you are just giving us stories, which is very unfortunate. Yeah, when you talk of land, we need to see how much land and what is the documentation.
And is it still there?
Yeah, when you say machines, what kind of machines?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
cash flows, revenue.
Yes.
What did you? I mean, and it has to be in documentation.
Documented.
It has to be documented.
Yeah, when you say you mobilize 479 million, from where? Where are the documents? That's what you're talking about.
Then, Chair, even when you handed over, what did you hand over? What documents were handed over to the next person who took over the institution? Because, you know, you can't just tell us that the institution is there, Drivatex is there, and there are no documentation. So what are we talking about?
Chair, I think the professor, by the way, I'm Khalid Kili Daniel, MP Gembe Central. I've come a bit late, I'm sorry. What I was saying is that the professor, the good professor, Vivey and the present one, I think you must be having an inventory of all the documents, all the items that were there, the land, the acreage number, the machines, all of them outlined. A proper inventory of all what you acquired from the textile industry.
Honorable Chair, if I may respond to that, we have a file which has the documents for Rivertex. At some point,
Prof,
that's why I said
you understand what we are saying?
Yeah, we do. Even a copy of the title is here.
Sorry?
Even a copy of the title deed is here.
Why didn't you provide them to the auditors for verification? Because, Bwana CS, why we called this meeting is because the university was hiding under the Ministry of Education, it was hiding under the Ministry of Industry, okay? On small matters such as documentation. So why didn't you provide documentation to the auditor? Because when you say you mobilized 479, from where? Your kitchen. Or from where, Professor? We need backed up documentations. This money was from part-time students, this was from here. Yeah, this public money and this government.
Honorable Chair, thank you so much, honorable members. We have since provided documents to the...
When?
Since we left here, honorable Chair.
When did you provide documents? Professor, when did you provide documents?
We've been working since last week.
Professor,
yes.
When did you provide documents? Monday, Tuesday, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock?
The auditor can confirm, honorable
Prof,
Chair. Yes, sir.
When did you provide documents?
Part of the documentation we provided yesterday, the other Monday. So we've been compiling documents, honorable Chair.
Chairman,
No, just a minute, doctor. Auditor. When did you get the documents?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have a file which was received this morning, and it has not passed through our office. So we have been going through it, but we got them today.
Actually, Chairman, let me ask this question, and then because honestly we also can't continue with this meeting until these documents, because I said the response of question number 1 is not, it's totally different from what the auditors raised. But just so that we are so clear, I wanted to ask the professors whether they know what a consolidated financial statement, what it stipulates, and what the consolidation procedure is, because maybe we are not on the same page, and what the auditors also are asking. So whether you understand what it is, and whether that is what you've given to the auditors, so that, Chairman, you should guide the committee, whether the auditors then can go look at what has been presented, but is it what the auditors have asked for?
With your permission, Chairman, so that you can answer them, so that they can answer them together. Can this committee be informed of why because it can be seen that it's a deliberate attempt to delay us and to prevent us from inquiring and getting the auditor's query being answered from the university, the old and the new system, whereby they provide the documents today in the morning, yet we are now about 2 weeks, which this committee gave the limited time of when they were supposed to submit the documents. And the professor, the current professor knew, the VC knew very well that if we provide the documents today, in no way can we proceed, can we go on it. It's just wasted our time, the minister's time, and everybody else's time, deliberately.
Thank you. Honorable Bissau?
With your permission.
Thank you, Chair. Is it in order for the Vice Chancellor, who's been in this meeting so many times, to come, and this is a House of Records, to even try to mislead the House, literally lying that he had given the documents, but the auditor is saying he received them this morning? Is it really in order?
Honorable Mumina?
Chair, I think we're just wasting our time, because what was asked here from the university is very basic information. When you buy something, you already know what you're buying. So providing documentation shouldn't be a problem. So I don't know why we've wasted all this time to push the same kind of information to the auditor, and we are being told it was delivered this morning.
Honorable Mwalimu?
Thank you, Chair. Just want to know the reasons why the VC has delayed in submitting the documents. Maybe he has some reasons.
CS, you wanted to say something?
Yes, with your permission, I just wanted to clarify that the committee addressed different questions to different teams. The response that you have is one from us, that we were responding to the issues that we thought are directed at us, and with the information that we were able to correct. So we might not have captured the exact other questions that were addressed to maybe the universities or to somebody else. So that's why it might look a bit off, but it's addressing a specific question that was addressed to us.
VC, it's not off. We've been wanting this documentation all this time.
No, I was meaning the response. My response to question one, yes. Yes, it might look a bit scanty. Yes, thank you.
Honorable members.
And Honorable Chair, with
the House
permission, if I may also chip in, the letter that we got on 1st of October from the Honorable House was that we provide all documentation relating to a loan facility acquired to purchase river debts. So that could explain why we were getting more extra information at a later time. But largely that is what we were getting the documentation related to the loan facility.
BC,
yes, sir.
The origin of why we are here is because we have an audit query. That's the background. And what is the audit query about? It's about documentation. You haven't synchronized, consolidated your documents for all this time. Okay? Bwana BC, and honorable members, so that we don't do cat and mouse.
No, Mr. Chairman, before you pronounce that one, because I can see where you're ending to.
Chair, before you go there.
No, I just want to
if
give
you look at that one, I know
No.
where you're ending to, Chairman.
Yeah, we know.
May I know? before you do that, may I know from the record, Chairman, when we were last week, but one, there was some fines, Chairman, if you can get my attention. when we were here last week, but one, there were some fines which we imposed upon the VC because of non-compliance, as he has done it today. And he was given limited time to pay, and he was to pay personally, not through the public money. Has it been complied with? And if not so, then he thinks that's just a joke. That's why he's just repeating the same mistake today.
Chair, before you
Let's
make
go from the record.
your pronouncement, Chair, I would want to know from the VC if now, as we sit here, all the documents have been submitted to the auditor. So that, Chair, I think from there, then we can begin. Yeah, we can have a way forward. Because, you know, Chair, I know where you want to go.
Chair. Yes, Honorable Kakai.
It's me, Chair.
Oh, so, okay.
Okay, Chair,
yes, PC.
I really want to understand the problems we have with Moi University. Because it is something deeper. Because we have been Moi University for almost 2 months. And every time the Vice Chancellor and this team come here, he's not prepared. He doesn't have documents. I think it is good, Chair, to understand what challenges he's facing, because it's also human. He could be facing challenges in his office. Does he have enough staff? Is he equipped? What is the problem?
I think let's give the VC to take the round of questions, then we come back to honorable members. But as VC, you do that. Start by telling us, because you are charged by this committee, a fine of 500,000 payable to the clerk of the National Assembly. Have you done that?
I don't know if I can understand.
No.
I was coming with a heavy heart to plead for pardon. Yeah, for leniency. Honorable Chair. Yeah, I have an appeal here.
Yeah, you should submit to the
Honorable Tongei. Honorable Tongei, you want to usurp the powers of the chair? Why did you have to wait to come and appeal today? And Vice Chancellor, do you know that this is not the first time we're doing this?
I understand, Chair. And I really want to put it this way, because when we were going through with the auditor on the questions that we were asked, he was guiding us a lot on what documentation we need. So I would want to confirm with the auditor what we went through. In fact, we sat almost the whole day yesterday. And he's been sitting with my people as well. So I want to really say it was not an oversight, honorable members. We focused on the question of the loan facility. And the other clarifications were to be made by my senior. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Mwenje, because we want to move.
Thank you, Chair. I'm hoping you'll tell us what's on the letter. But Chair, we were just, actually let me introduce myself. My name is Mark Mwenje, MP Embakasi West, and I'm a member of this committee. And Chair, you know, we've been having quite a number of issues with Moi University. And actually, we are just conversing here with my colleague. Chair, we probably need a forensic audit. And you know, this committee has not even visited this university. Considering the matters we had with land, now this issue of Rivertex is just, I mean, I don't want to belabor, but you can see what our colleagues are saying. So Chair, I think as you consider your next steps, I think we need a thorough audit, not just on this issue, but the entire institution as a whole, so that we can understand the depth of the problems that exist within this university. Chair, you know, Moi University is one of the universities that, even for us lawyers, for a long time, some of the best advocates and all that, they come from this university. But the issues that we've been facing might damage this entire university if we don't take some stern actions going forward. Thank you, Chair.
Very important, eh?
Yes, Mheshimiwa Miruka.
Thank you. For the record, I'm Alpha Miruka, people Machoga Chache. I don't want to ask a lot of questions, but I want us, because to avoid forth and back, in the sense that the auditor has confirmed he has received document this morning. Can he be able to verify are there all documents that again will come again, have another scenario whereby he doesn't have documents as he requested? That's my concern anyway.
Chairman, allow me to say this. I will go the route of Honorable Mwenje, because we've had Moi University here, as he has said, for 2 months. And it seems there is a problem which we can't really pinpoint. I would also suggest that we have a forensic audit, because the auditors will sit with the, I don't know whether sometimes whether it's articulation that's also a problem or what is the problem. The auditors will then come and tell us exactly where the picture of the institution and where it stands, and then we are able to interrogate, because really this is just, we've had a back and forth for way too long with Moi University. Yeah.
Thank you, honorable members. Before we conclude on this matter, you took money from the university pension scheme, a loan of 50 million. Could that be the reason why pensioners are crying?
No, Chair. Pensioners are not, they are not crying because of 50 million. There could be other things, but I do know that that 50 million that we took from there was actually to be paid back to them. And I believe I don't have the records now, but
what is the status?
Chair, I've been away for 17 years now from the institution, so it will have to be. Yeah.
The current VC, what is the status of the 50 million?
Honorable Chair, I have to confirm that because this is new information.
What do you mean new information?
Yeah, I mean a new question. But
okay, is the loan, have you cleared the loan or not?
I'll have to find out, Chair.
And
it's no finance officer here.
Let me explain what happens with Rivertex, Honorable Chair.
No, the pensioners' money. We are talking about
pensioners. It's not your money.
I know.
It's pensioners' money. Somebody who has worked in your institution for quite a period, he has retired, is entitled to his benefits, and today you are giving us stories that let's go through for it and to see how it is. Has that loan been refunded? Has that money been refunded to the account so that the owner of the money can get his money as a retired person? That's what
Chair, let me also ask a question so that you can answer. What is the current status of the pension fund? Because from the inside, I know that pension fund is in trouble.
The current status.
No. Just we are house of rules. You just don't talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honorable Zambia.
It's okay. Thank you, Chair. For record purpose, I'm Engineer Zambia, Member of Parliament, Kilome constituency, and a member of this committee. Chair, I just want to know from the VC whether the pensioners are affected. Are they getting their monthly dues as per today?
Honorable members, I find the VC not honest. This information is coming from the minister. Why would the minister have information that the VC doesn't, that the VC does not have?
incompetency.
Bwana VC.
I want to explain it this way, Chair. Can you allow us 5 minutes break? Kindly. Because what happens with Rivertex is being run independently of the...
We are asking about the loan of 50 million from the pension scheme. What is the status? Was it cleared? Has it not?
I'll need to confirm, Chair.
By the way, VC, we will sort that institution. Let me tell you. We are going to sort out Moi. Whether you like it or not, we are going to sort out Moi. Yeah, it is not in a good position. So what you need 5 minutes to confirm. You have your officers here. Which officer?
The finance officer should be there.
I mean, 50 million is not 5 shillings. That's a lot of money. Public money, and it's people's money. Was it paid or not paid?
Yes, I want to confirm it was refunded. It was paid.
Chair.
No, just a minute. Can we have documentation?
Yes.
Yes, we can provide the documentations.
Honorable members, don't you find it weird that the VC does not know of such a serious issue in the institution, yet the finance officer knows?
But
Yes, Honorable Officer.
it is not the first time we've been going through this circus. And I'm happy that the PS and the CS are here. This is what we go through. In this particular institution, from lack of geographical balance to incompetency to leasing land before all other processes, and this is what we go through. We really need to fix this, Waziri. And that's why I was talking about parking my question on the issue of contracts, performance contracts. And in fact, I'm surprised that Professor Airo is here, who I know never landed when he was taken to Eldoret. So I don't know why he's here, but anyway, I leave it to the chair.
Honorable members?
Chair.
Yes.
I still want to know the status of the pension fund currently. Chair, I need to know the status of the pension fund as at now.
Yes, but I'm afraid these answers are not getting questions. That's why I want us to make progress. Mwalimu teacher.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to know from the auditor whether the VC is making progress as far as submitting of documents is concerned.
Honorable member, the VC has provided documents today morning. We do not know whether there are sufficient documents or not. And the VC has had 2 weeks. So I'm afraid these questions will not come to an end. And Public Audit Act, Chapter 37, under forensic audit. The Auditor General may, upon request by Parliament, conduct forensic audits to establish fraud, corruption, or other financial improprieties. Consequently, honorable members, this committee directs that the Auditor General does a forensic audit on Moi University around issues of river tax, between river tax and the university, Itonge,
And then more than that.
and the pension, because 50 million was involved, right?
And also the gate chairman, there is more. There is more.
No. We go step by step.
Yes.
So on this one, we are ordering a forensic audit on all the issues related to river tax.
Chairman.
Registration,
Yes.
the 200 million, the 50, the funding, everything about river tax.
That is one, Chairman.
The assets, yeah,
Chairman, I thought that
liabilities.
I thought that since we could not be telling the Auditor General to be having that forensic experts audit for each and every item.
Please speak on the mic.
We give the items which you would wish that they be looked upon closely as per. Chairman, may I finish? Chairman, if you allow me.
Yes, Honorable
So
Member.
that we can come out clear, so that we not be going back again to Moi University. We give even some years which you want forensic evidence to be only to be done, taking into account that one is river tax, which we can there's a lot of signs of incompetence and corruption and so on. Then we go back a little bit to other perturbing questions because they are there.
Honorable Member, we pronounce ourselves on this issue, then we proceed to the next question.
And before we proceed, Chair.
Just a minute. On this issue, we've ordered a forensic audit. So there are still other issues related to Moi, which we are going to go through. So if we find any other issue that requires the same attention, the committee will add.
But Chair, before we proceed, they said the MD is here. Is the MD of Rivertex here?
Where is he?
Huh?
Are you the one?
Okay.
Chair,
MD, maybe to give us a brief.
Chair, I wanted to ask, what does forensic audit mean?
Auditor General?
What does it entail?
Itonge. Any of you can.
A forensic, Mr. Chairman, thank you. A forensic audit entails the auditing to do with fraud and the crime in particular. And so it has a lot of legal connotations because we need to work in accordance with the laws of the country, which covers fraud and the criminality. So that's it.
Yes, no, we'll come to the timelines, don't worry. Yes, Honorable Isiolo 1.
Done with the matter, and there's something else that concerns the public and all of us here about the strike that happened at Moi University. I'm beginning to think that the problem could be actually the incompetency that is being displayed here in front of us. So I want to ask the CS, what are they doing about the fact that our learners or our students, university students, are out there, and here we are grappling with an incompetence level that is unimaginable. How are we able to tell the public that this university will go back to its operation in a proper way?
Okay, Honorable Member, I wanted us to finish with the forensic audit. It's only 1 month. This is a very serious matter. 2 weeks?
Chair,
because it's just one item.
Chair,
what do you think?
1 month would be short.
So 2 months?
60 days.
Okay, 60 days. Yeah, and no stone should be left unturned. Okay?
Maybe, Chairman, before we fix the time for him, what's the required time for them to do forensic audit?
No, they've said 2 months.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yes, as long as the National Assembly does the requisite request to the AG.
Today, clerk, today. So, VC, we've received your letter, and the committee is going to respond to it. We'll communicate to you. Honorable Mumina has raised an issue, I think, of national concern. What is the status of Moi University? I saw you are chairman here. And honorable members, there's a petition here concerning the plight of Moi University workers.
Thank you, Chairman and honorable members. I think I'd like to focus. My name is Honorable Dr. Humphrey Kimani Yugona, Chairman of the Council and a former member of Parliament, 11th Parliament. I'm privileged to be here, and I've been there since in Moi University from 2021 to today as the chair of the council. And the issues that the honorable members are raising are weighty, and I'd like to shed some light as I know it, that regarding the pension, we never used to have problems in pension remittance and statutory deductions remittance until
Mr.
2015.
Chairman, don't bother yourself with what is the status of the university. Students are on strike.
Yes.
Oh, I have a petition here, workers are on strike. Did you close the university? Why? For how long?
Yes.
For what?
Yes, and this is what I want to explain, Honorable Chair, that the issue on the closure of the university, first of all, was a national issue, inadequate financial capitation in all public universities. Ours, not an exception. We have unlimited pension to the tune of 4 billion. They have an issue with the way we pay salaries, whether diagonal or horizontal, as per CBA. those were the issues. And even as we are talking, we have not been able to pay the salaries because we have received the capitation 89 million against the gross salary per month of 403 million. We have raised this issue with our own ministry, the CS, the Treasury, and so on. And I believe it is being addressed because these are workers' rights, as you put it. But when you receive inadequate capitation at 89 million, you're talking about 23% of the salaries of the across board. So we have an issue. And this is what I was trying to explain, because this can be traced back to 2015 when the Power program collapsed. We were getting about 4 billion in the Power program. Don't forget that this Moi University, in the past, we assisted, nurture, and develop over 10 public universities. So in the course of doing that, we carried a very large workforce, which to date is still there. And this is one of the issues, the reason why perhaps we are not able to pay the gross salary against whatever we are getting from the government. And is an issue, when you talk about the bloated workforce, it's an issue that we are addressing. It is an issue that we must involve all the stakeholders. It's an issue that we are addressing. As we are talking, we have harmonization. We have PKF, HR firm, that's addressing that issue, so that this matter can be addressed once and for all. Now, when the national strike was called off, our labor force, the staff, and the lecturer said, we want arrears paid now, we want pension paid now, we want everything sorted out now. This is the discussion. And because of the rising tension and in the interest of taking care of the assets and even the students, the Senate reached a decision on Friday, last Friday, to close the university. But there is consultation going on with the ministry, consultation going on with the Treasury, so that once funds are availed, then you'll be able to engage, because you are still engaging with the unions. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, I have a question to the chairman.
No, I want us to structure it this way.
Yes.
We have a petition. I just want Honorable Mwenje, please read for us the 7 grounds and read for us the 5 prayers from the petitioners.
Thank you, Chair.
Just go direct to the grounds.
Now, that the members of staff of Moi University went on strike on 26th August 2024 over the following issues: lack of promotion and an unfair promotion criteria, poor governance within the institution where there is abuse of power, personal vendetta, witch hunt, and exclusion of staff from decision-making on issues affecting them. 3, non-implementation of collective bargaining agreements since 2013. Almost all university CBAs local are in the 2017 to 2021 cycle and are negotiating for 2021 to 2025. Failure, number 4, failure to remit third-party deductions such as bank loans, insurance, SACCO, welfares, and benevolent contributions for the last 5 years. Staff have, as a result, been adversely affected by being taken to court, judgment entered against them, and auction of their properties. Staff are also adversely affected by listings in CRB and are unable to get clearance for Schedule 6 Kenya Constitution documents. Number 5, lack of group life cover for employees for over 7 years now. The families of those who pass on in service are heavily disadvantaged and resort to fundraisers. 6, withholding of employees' contributions to their unions as a way of paralyzing the union so that the workers are unrepresented. Approximately 45 million outstanding. And finally, 7, non-remittance of pension contribution for the last 7 years.
leading accumulation of more than 4.2 billion to date, meaning workers have no pension on retirement. The prayers are essential: more university for violation of the rights of its workers. 2, bring to the attention of relevant government departments the issues raised by the petitioners. 3, support the workers of Moi University fight against the injustices against them. 4, seek for lasting solutions to the issues by bringing on board stakeholders to discuss and resolve the issues. And finally, 5, employ any other relief as may be seen possible to assist the employees at the institution. Thank you, Chair.
CS, there is a problem.
The problem is very big. It's a huge, humongous problem. It's affecting a number of universities, but Moi University, I think, took and Taita Taveta faced the bulk of these problems, and we are trying to unravel what can be done, because as you've read, that petition, it encompasses a number of issues that needs to be dealt with. But coming to the strike that happened, there was a national strike, but there were also chapter strikes that were taking place. We managed to negotiate a back-to-work formula with the national WASU and KUSA and KUDEA, and they signed and went back on the 26th of September 2024. But the Moi chapter had a more serious problem, because for some time they've not been receiving their salaries. The pension is not being deducted. Some of them are indicating that they are being taken to court and judgments are being given against them. So it's a very serious and deep problem. And as you are talking, I just kept quiet because I was wondering if I said this, how it would be taken, because I think the forensic audit should not be limited to the issue that we are facing here today. It should be a comprehensive forensic audit that is aimed at finding out what has happened and what can we do as a country to bring Moi University out of the doldrums that it is in. Because what we've been doing for the last 10, 15, 20 years is just putting a bandage on the problem. As we speak here today, Moi University has a pending bills certified at 8.2 billion. That is a huge amount. So we need to look at the whole scenario and find out how do we help this university. There is a bloated workforce. There are so many issues that needs to be looked at, and people must agree that for us to ensure that Moi University survives, we make the hard decisions now. Because when pension is not there, what is somebody working for? When you've deducted or you've not paid me and a loan I took from the bank based on my salary, I'm being attached. Where is the motivation? So that is what has brought us here, and I'm glad that this committee has called all of us here. I was wondering where I was coming to a PIC meeting, committee meeting, since Moi University is independent, it has a committee, it has a council and all that, but now I have understood that it was important for me to be here, because I have actually now understood that when we are all here together, we should be able to get a solution. Treasury is here, Ministry of Industry is here, the Ministry of Education is here, the MD from that Rivertex is here, the 3 VCs who have been previously there are all here. And you, members of parliament, are here, who are actually with the people and with the students who come to you every other day. So it is important for us to agree that there is a problem, and then how do we deal with this problem? But as we deal with the forensic audit, which is going to take some time, we need to get a stopgap measure solution so that the students can go back to class. So that is what we need help on, so that we can raise the funds that they require right now to be able to start operating. They've indicated here that they've not paid salaries. The salary is 403 million per month. Whether that is sustainable or not is another question, but we need to deal with it so that the students can go back to class as we solve these problems. These are the issues that we are dealing with as a ministry, together with the Treasury, to see whether we can get these resources for them to go back.
Honourable members, I want us just to take 30 minutes only, then we have a way forward on this issue. Bwana CS, as we converse over these issues, ultimately we will want a way forward from you as a minister in charge here, so that we want students in school yesterday, and we want workers in at the university yesterday. So I will give a few members just to ventilate over the issue, but then as we discuss this issue, CS, where did the rain start beating us? Okay? Does it point to management? Does it point to incompetency? Because when you see 7 years non-remittance of pension, what does that speak to? Okay? Why just 7 years? Why not 10? Why not 2? Does it speak to management? And then you said you've engaged PKF. Are you paying them? Are you paying them?
Do I explain?
Yes, no.
I wanted to explain.
Just yes or no. Are you paying them?
We are paying them, but I want to explain. Honorable Chair.
Now, CS, there's a problem somewhere. You have an issue in the university. Okay? I'm sure this university teaches human resource. You've got a course on human resource or something of that kind. Why do you go to hire PKF when you need money? Okay? CS, I hope we are together. So I want to give members to talk about these issues. Then we will come back to the CS in terms of the way forward. Okay? And how do you want us to help you? Because our first interest is that the university has to open. Then, honorable members, we will retreat as a committee to look at more university. We will come up with far-reaching recommendations, and we will call the CS, the PS, and all the stakeholders to discuss the way forward about the university. Yes, Honorable. So we keep our questions brief.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Chair, I'm actually concerned with the issue of pension because, Chair, I was a council member for Karatina University before I was elected. And I've seen Karatina University here, led by the VC. Chair, when you look at the issue of pension, money totaling to around 4.2 billion. And you know, this was a question that we had asked about the 50 million that they had borrowed from the pension fund. And we had asked them, had they refunded that money? And you know, Chair, that question was not forthcoming. The answer was not forthcoming. And now that Karatina is here, Chair would want to know if that money, if their pension was sorted when they left Moi University, because it was an outstanding issue when I was a council member there. So the Moi University need to tell us, did they ever refund the 50 million? That's number one. Number two, where did the money go for the pension money for their staff? Because if the deductions were being made, then where was their pension going to? Because, Chair, this is a university that is in ICU. And if this is not sorted, it's go down the drain. It is a serious thing. We need to sort it out once and for all, because it will be very unfortunate to lose such a big university and institution like this one, where the government had invested lots of money. Thank you, Chair.
Auditor, take note. That speaks to the scope of the audit, forensic audit we've asked. Yes, Honorable Bissau.
Thank you, Chair. The problem starts with executive. The picking of vice chancellors and the chair is purely a political process. Listening to Dr. What was the other name again? Alfred Kimani Juguna. PKF, the chair mentioned it. I'm sure if I look at your database, there are a lot of PhD students in human resource. There are master students. There is the database on human resource. We know the natural attrition, retirement, etc. Why do you keep on employing and replacing while you know during parallel programs you had many staff? You should be able to come up as a Senate and say, look, we are not going to replace staff. Now, income generating. Yes, the ministry has failed. They are not remitting, they are not playing their role by remitting what they have to remit. But the public institutions, you've got the highest, biggest chunks of land. What are you doing to generate income? If you look at private universities, Professor Hiro is here. Professor Frida Brown, USIU, an example, and many others. Why don't they have problems paying salaries? They don't have the similar assets you have. You are also generating income through research funds. Where are these funds going? Now, why are you also investing in non-profit, enterprises? Did you need to buy Rivertex, an example? Why don't you concentrate? You teach strategic management. Why don't you concentrate on your key mandates? As they say in strategic management, concentrate on the knitting. Why? So back to Waziri. If the recruitment continued to be a political process, there is a serious problem with our institution. Let's get the right men and women for the jobs. From the chair to the vice chancellors, we have to get the right person. But fast forward, also as the government, walk the talk, the executive, remit the money to these institutions. And the institutions, the men and women you put in place, let them be people who can think outside the box and generate income so that we can, picking the good examples from the private universities. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, PC.
Chair, I want to make two comments. Number one is that I'm very clear in my mind that Moi University can be self-sustaining. That I know. I know because I am briefing to the university information.
Do you want to declare interest?
No, I'm briefing because I'm part of, I live in Mosengishu, and I'm an MP of Sotik.
Okay.
My people go to Moi University, so I have an interest, Chair.
Completely.
Now, I would like to say this, that today, this committee, under your chairmanship, has done a good thing, forensic audit. That will bring us out of this deep hole. Number two, Chair, I heard the minister. I have not heard him since he took over the ministry. But he appears to be clear. Waziri, can you give us a way forward? We want these universities to come back and start. It is your business. We need to hear how you are doing it. Keep the money. Those children at the university must go back. So it's up to you as a ministry to really give money or whatever you can do, but what we want is the children to go back. Thirdly, Chair, I know Professor here from the Eastern University. Cairo. He's a well-respected man. He was supposed to take over in my university. We don't want to go back to those issues which we saw in the university. But I want to support my colleague here that the university going forward, Waziri, you need to take notes on what my colleague here said on appointments, people in positions in the university and anywhere else. Mr. Chair, I want to stop there, but I also want to commend the chair of the council. We need to have engagement with him because he appears to understand this thing. But I can't understand why he cannot bring this university back to normal. Thank you, Chair.
Attorney General.
Yeah, Chairman. Mine is just to say that to get to what the chairman of the council and started with, whereby he told us that since the stopping of the parallel degrees, the universities have been financial doldrums. I somehow tend to differ with them, and they should tell us that before parallel degrees were introduced to the universities used to exist because that's where we originated from, and they used to learn without much financial difficulties. And the moment they found that the parallel degrees have been stopped, they ought to have started thinking out of the box of how to tackle financial hardships. And to that effect, you cannot just tell us that they can only survive through parallel degrees. That's not should be the issue. Because when changes comes, one must know how he's going to survive. Especially if it's some rotten stuff, as they have said. Then they ought to have thought of how to have a settled scheme of how they can reduce the staff without a lot of litigations, and then come up with what they can be able to sustain, instead of investing in loss-making ventures which cannot meet the obligations as it's supposed. More than that, even the university students who are there, because they are there and they're in thousands and thousands, as we were told that more university has more than, was it 12 or 29,000? We were told about more than 29,000 29,000 students. Chairman, if you look at it, those students do not go there for free. They pay. There is that money which they pay as part of fees. We are not told about them. And when these students pay this, Chairman, when these students pay fees, the kind of universities we have these days is not like the way it used to be there before, whereby university students used to be given what we used to call boom, money by university. They used to be fed by university. Those are the days. They used to be accommodated by universities. Those are the days. So when these days a student pays fees, there is no accommodation and there is no financial return as it used to be there. So this money which they pay, I've never had it being addressed by any VC, that the money which you receive from students, it is used for this and this and that. So that's an income for the university. And it should be addressing some of these financial problems, not necessarily capitation from the government alone. So that issue should come up, and we should be knowing what takes place. And to conclude, my remarks is that each and every university, especially Moi University, when it started, it was a very rich university compared with Moi, compared with University of Nairobi. By then, Kenyatta University and Egerton University, it was one of the best financially, with very stable base by then. When did the problem start? And it's my humble prayer, Chairman, when it comes to forensic university, it should not be just be limited to a particular time. Let's get, when did the rain start beating Moi University, a famous university, a university which was undermined by many, and as we speak today, is the most crippled university. That's my take.
Chairman.
Yeah, maybe I wanted Mwenje and then Mwalimu to finish. We keep it brief.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I want to bring it to the attention of Waziri. As an employer, I'm in the legal profession. I have a law firm and I've worked in a law firm before. And when we start recruiting employees, sometime in the 2011, 2012, 2013, I don't want to mention that university here because we are on record. If you ask me off the record, I'll tell you. But we started avoiding certain students from certain universities. That is something that we started doing, and it was constant with quite a number of law firms and even the banks. So there are students who suffered. The ones who are graduating 2011, 2012, 2008, 2009, from that specific, which is a very famous university. It wasn't Moi, but it is another one. At that time, actually, Moi University students were the best. They were the best we were getting for law students locally. the way we are going, these issues are going to start affecting even how employers react to students from university. So here you are talking to the soul of these youths who they'll go through the university, come out, and people avoid them because they feel that they are not getting a good, these issues will translate to even teaching lecturers, and you start finding that you're not getting the right people because the issues even that have been raised on this petition, once you start having these workers and these things going this way, then I can assure you then the university has lost the purpose of why it was founded in the first place. So, Chair, I don't want to repeat so much what has been said, but this concern about this university that has so many people that it has produced in this country, we must sit down, and if some tough decisions have to be made, then we probably have to make them. I'm happy that there is the former member for Gatanga, if I'm not wrong, who's the chair there. You were able to, I think you're the one person here who can bring in, understand what we speak as politicians and professionally, because I've seen it's two doctors. So you're one of the people who I believe can be able to harmonize this situation. I understand you've been there, I think, since 2021, but we can all agree there's a problem here that we must address. And if we don't address it now, I think we're just going to go down the wrong direction. I also just wanted a quick query from the auditor. I don't know whether you've looked at this petition.
I have not.
You see, some of the issues that have been raised here, that withholding of employees' contributions, life cover, some of these things are issues that would have been caught by the auditors. So maybe you can skip, but I read through it, so why are you not listening? I would want you to confirm some of these things, whether have you captured some of these issues? Because the allegations in this petition are so serious that some of these things, I think the auditor you can clarify on some of these issues. You know, when somebody is saying 7 years contributions for non-remittance of pensions, this is what you audit anyway. So you would have caught this.
No, we have, Mr. Chairman. Yeah. All those issues are in our reports, which I have. The 3 reports are here, and those statutory deductions not remitted are properly captured. Yeah.
Members, let's make it brief because we want to issue direction that will cover a lot of these issues.
Thank you, Chair. Mine is very brief, and I don't want to repeat what my colleagues have talked about. But as you have suggested, Chair, I also support the forensic audit to be done in Moi University, because it appears there are historical problems in the university. So I support that, the forensic audit.
Thank you. Yes, Representative.
Thank you, Chair. I will be very brief. I think what is very important at the end of the day is to see our students back to the school. So because the Treasury is here, the Ministry is here, and the entire committee is here, before we leave, we must have a solution first for the students to be back to the school. Whichever way it doesn't matter, we must get back our students back to school. Thank you, Chair.
Ms. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chairman. Having listened to the chairperson of the council, and he has said that they are facing a capitation issue, just like many other institutions. The other institutions have not closed down. So you have to also look further from the capitation. What are some, especially on leadership? I said earlier, we've been here for 2 months, and you can really just tell there's also a leadership issue, because some of these things even these employees have raised it just leads to leadership and the management of the institution. And so when I see us, the issue of capitation is a big issue in all our institutions. Even the private institutions where we now said students should not be funded when they go there, all those institutions, when we do the audit, when we check in the audit, the government owes them so much money, those institutions. And so the issue of capitation continues to be an audit issue with every single institution. So also as a ministry and government and treasury, you have to look onto the issue of capitation so that we do it the right way and on time, so that we don't have great giants like Moi University being in the situation it is on. But having said that, the issue of leadership has to be looked at Moi University and most of our institutions.
Thank you, honorable members. Having deliberated on all these issues, no, Honorable Miruka is okay. I think the committee directs the Auditor General to do a holistic forensic audit for 5 years backward, and give us a report in 2 months. During the period, the committee freezes all new projects. The university shall not entertain or engage in any new project, shall not recruit any new persons, and we direct the Public Service Commission to engage PKF to discharge them from what they are doing at the university, because they have that mandate and capacity to lead what PKF is doing at the university with immediate effect. Yeah, and we also ask the Public Service Commission to look at this, the officers who've been acting for the longest and give us an update. Yeah, a holistic audit means HR, everything. Yeah, so that we will revisit that issue in 2 months, honorable members. Now, Mr. Minister, we want students back yesterday. Give us a way forward, undertaking and commitment.
We have done a request to Treasury to release some resources to Moi University for them to be able to pay the workers so that the student can go back. The students did not have a problem. The problem was with the workers. The students were not being taught for a month, and so the university decided to close because they were going to go out and maybe start striking. Though they were not on strike, they were quite disciplined. They were waiting for that issue to be resolved. So I'll give this chance to my peers to give the exact figure that we are required to release to them from Treasury, and we've written letters to see whether that can be done so that they can.
I think, Mr. Minister, we don't need the PS to tell us figures.
Yes.
What we need, you can walk to Treasury and talk to your colleague.
We've done that.
You've talked to Honorable Mbadi?
We've done that. They are trying to locate the resources.
So
Every day
what timelines are we looking at?
They haven't given us a timeline.
But Chairman, even before that, had the council, have you been writing to the ministry on this matter, on capitation?
Yes, we have.
How many times?
Many times, and the records
Do you
are
have
there.
the records?
Yes.
It would be good to also have them in
Yes.
this committee,
The record.
because we have to do things the right way. So
and
that
I-
the ministry can also be held accountable, as much as we're holding the institution accountable, and we need to see the correspondence from the institution and the ministry, and how far back. Because probably the institution has been asking for money for the last 1 year, or God knows how long. We need to know so that this also doesn't happen again, not just to this institution, but also to others, so that we can know from Treasury and the Education Ministry where is really the problem on matters capitation of our institutions.
Chair, we shall avail those records, and I also want to confirm that we have a meeting on Wednesday, a very high level meeting with the Treasury, our line ministry here, and Office of the President to discuss the same thing. And we welcome the forensic audit because facts and figures don't lie. In fact, if you asked me, I would have said we go back to 2015 because that's when the rain started beating us. I appreciate this forum because I can see.
Chair, we are on a clear path. Huh?
Yes.
Bwana CS.
Yes. Yes, Chair.
Why did you have to wait until students are on, workers are on strike before you act?
We didn't wait, Chair. We've had, in the 2 months that I've been in the office, we've had not less than 3 or 4 meetings. We've done more than 8 different letters to Treasury also to get a response on what to do. There have been many issues, so we've been working on it. And as the Chair said, the meetings are continuous. So we are trying to resolve this. We have not waited because it is not in our interest for students to be out of workers not to be paid.
Your peer has been there longer than 2 months.
Yeah.
Can she say something?
Yeah.
Yes.
I want us to treat this one as an emergency. There's no way back on this matter. In fact, before we leave here, let us know when the students are supposed to be called back. Because all these meetings are not going to help us.
Chair, to understand how much are you owed in terms of computation? I'm asking this because the Waziri might be negotiating, then in the process you're given aspirin instead of being given, So how much are you owed? And
Chair, yesterday we got 89 million. Again,
Honorable members, I want the minister and the PS to give us way forward, the accounting officers of the ministry, because we should avoid back and forth.
But Chair, it's good to talk about the figure. They will say they've released 89 million. It's a drop in the ocean. So we need to, what are you owed and what is the ministry negotiating?
We have even been, Chair, we have been engaging the unions, even as late as this morning, personally, and they are saying if they get the gross pay, which is 403 million, they'll be back to class tomorrow.
Madam Pierce.
What's the figure?
Madam Pierce, please talk.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. I'd like to confirm to this Honorable Committee that we have requested, we've had a lot of discussions on a sustainability strategy for the university, including all these income generating activities, optimization of idle assets. We requested them to provide projections of what would be raised so that we work towards sustainability. And the issue of managing the wage bill has also been discussed extensively with the university. That is why they started implementing what they have discussed with that company, PKF. And in terms of the capitation, because we were moving out of the differentiated unit cost, the money for capitation is going down as the money coming through for year 1 and year 2 through the new funding model is increasing. And with this funding, we asked all the universities to undertake projections so that we can understand that at what point are we able to break even. So for the Moi University currently, allow me to share, Honorable Chair, that they gave us a projection of a total revenue of 5.1 billion against total expenditures of 7 billion. And we asked National Treasury, therefore, to provide additional money based on the 80% differentiated unit cost, which would be a total of 1.5 billion. And with this, they would still have a small deficit, a deficit of 0.4 billion, which we were urging the universities to also increase their income generating activities and funding from research to raise the difference of 0.4 billion. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair.
Chairman, we just need treasury here because also the ministry is requesting, the council is, the university is requesting the person to answer this question on when the money will be available is the CS Treasury.
So, Madam Clerk, we want to postpone this meeting.
And the CS is chairman. Even as you make the ruling, sometimes when this committee calls the CSs 3 or 2, there is a reason. Because there is a reason why we're calling the industry CS, why the Treasury. And I think, Chair, as you talk to them, make it clear to them that it doesn't make sense to have one CS. We've taken a whole morning. He could have been doing something else, and we're postponing so that again that Treasury CS comes. So the 3 of them really have to know that when we call them, there's a reason why this committee wanted the 3 of them here. Otherwise, we would have called one to come on different days.
Yeah, and also on the computation.
Honorable members, let's make progress.
Chair, I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
As our chair.
Yes.
To personally intervene and make sure that all the CSs come at the same time.
That's what we want to do. Honorable members, we therefore rule. Yes, Honorable Zambia.
Chair, I'm sorry for that, but I also have a suggestion to help the university. I'm also in the lands committee. We visited the institution, I think 2 or 3 months ago. There is a very huge land there which is very idle. Why not they chop part of the piece of land?
So, honorable members, that's a good suggestion, but we need students in class tomorrow. So, honorable members, the committee directs that Honorable Mbadi and his peers appears here tomorrow, together with the CS Education on Friday. So on Tuesday at 10, so that CS, we want to help you.
Yes, that is okay, but I was going to suggest perhaps that as we come on Tuesday, you can direct us
matter once and for all. So, Sawa.
And a comprehensive picture, boss, not just for students going back. Have a total work plan.
No. I think if I've had the CS correctly, Chairman, through your permission, you know, they've done a letter. It seems like they're almost begging as well. This committee has the powers to direct CS Treasury to release the funds that are needed for the institution to be up and running and students to go. And so our clerk can do the letter today, that we have had this meeting and this was what was resolved, and that they release money before they come here on Tuesday. You know, because also this committee has the power to do, Chairman.
And when the money is released,
So, honorable members, in the circumstances, the committee directs that in the interim, Treasury releases monies to Moi University as asked by the ministry. The clerk do that letter to be delivered to the minister today, and to invite him for Tuesday without fail. And when he comes on Tuesday, we want him just to report that he has sent the money.
My big question, Chairman, is this: because we have been having problems with the administration of Moi University, the letter whereby the ministry releases the money, when it reaches on the other side, will it be implemented to the letter to address the problems? Can we hear that?
CS, do you have cabinet on Tuesday or Wednesday?
It's normally on Tuesday.
So can we then schedule you for Wednesday?
Wednesday is fine.
Yeah, so Wednesday is fine. And honorable members, we said we are going to interrogate all this that we have, and we are going to issue an advisory with regard to the management of Moi University. so that we deal with it once and for all.
Sorry, Chair, I'm being told the high-level meeting for Wednesday with Moi University, the ministry, and State House is going to take place on Wednesday.
So Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. We are sitting as a committee Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Thursday we are before another committee. Is it PSC? Thursday we are before another committee. But
just wait. Yeah. You tell us which committee the clerks can agree on how to time ourselves.
The Education Committee in the Senate.
I think, CS, we are going to get back to you this afternoon.
Thank you.
In terms of when we are going to have that meeting.
Thank you.
But it is urgent. Thank you. But in the interim, we've directed Treasury to release funds. So, honorable members, I want us to adjourn. We come back at 2:30. We still have National Bank. We have, before we forget. Yes. We are going to do a small brief with the CS. The gate. The gate. So the business will have you in the afternoon, all of you. And it's good you are here, all of you, because without you, someone, professor keeps saying it wasn't me. You know, someone pointing at another person and pointing as we close. CS, when Honorable Zambia is asking me, after we do all that we're doing for you,
as soon as the funds are released, the students will go back. I'm sure that that's what the employees want.
Exactly, Honorable Chair. As soon as we get the money, they are willing to go back.
That's not an answer.
Honorable members, honestly, let's be fair to the minister. We need to help the minister by talking to Treasury, which we are doing. So we are going to talk to Treasury verbally and issue instructions, okay? But also on your end, ensure that everything goes on well. Thank you so much, honorable members. We see you. To understand what happens on errors that occurs because of money. Those are not small errors. Did you have approvals for the variation?
I had written recommendations from the planning department, signed by
Prof. Did you get the variation approved?
I did not get the variation approval, but the expenditure was not incurred.
Sorry?
The expenditure was not incurred.
Meaning?
Meaning that what we had put as a variation, that money was not spent because no sooner, I think that's the time I left the university.
Auditor, was the money spent or not?
Mr. Chairman, the money was spent, and then, of course, read that the construction was abandoned, and they started a new gate.
Chairman, at that point,
I want us to understand, to agree on something here. Give us a proper narration. You advertised for a gate for 4.8 million.
Yes.
Okay? You put a contract on site, right? Midway, you realize that you needed to include a few other things, right? So you asked the person to make of the money was paid.
Yes.
Which translates to how much?
To 9.2.
9.2 million.
Yes.
And works what percent?
That's 100%.
60%.
60%. Now, professor had left. Who paid?
Chair, a correction. The amount is 4.7.
Okay, call it 4.7. So who paid? Who executed this contract?
Honorable Chair, the former VC did, and the money was paid, the last payment in 2017, July.
Do you have the vouchers?
We have the certificates.
No, I want the voucher. Payment vouchers. Yes, Honorable Sang.
Where is the procurement person?
Sorry?
You're the procurement person. Give the procurement person the mic.
But, honorable members, let's get some guidance so that we proceed well. We want to know who paid the payment or you did not.
Chairman, the contract was 4.8. The variation brought the 33%. The documentation from the quality, the QS and the architect, and I'm just seeing the documents now, quite some time back. They were approved on 31st of July 2017. Yes.
By whom?
Approved by myself.
So you are the one who approved the payment?
Yeah.
Wow. All the payments, 9.2?
I can't ascertain because I didn't have access to these documents. I didn't have access to these documents. I've not had access to them for the last 7 years.
Okay, so the contract was executed by Professor Hiro. Yes, Honorable Kakai, now you may proceed.
Procurement person, you were there during this period?
Honorable Chair, I was not in also during the specific period.
But since you knew you're coming to this meeting, looking at your procurement files,
yes, Honorable.
What was the actual value to the last thing that was paid?
Honorable Chair, Honorable House, the payments that were done were really for the contract, not on the variation. There were 3 fee notes. The first fee note, Chair, was paid 2 point particular amount. Then the second fee note also came to around 2.6 or so. So the third fee note.
Procurement.
Yes,
say 2 point so or so. We are talking about public funds. Be clear and specific about the amounts you are addressing.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Chairman,
let him finish. For the benefit of time, just rush us through. What is the total you paid, or what is the total on your file?
The total amount paid, Honorable Chair, is 4.7. That was the contract, part of the contract, not really the variations.
So in your
no variation, Chair, were executed and even paid for.
So variation is not in your file?
Yeah, it's not in the file. There were only applications for variations that never went through.
So again, that will bring us to the vouchers, so that we really understand what was paid. Or are you trying to tell this House
yes,
that sometimes procurement is done in the executive office, in the VC's office? Sometimes you're out of the loop. Is that what you're trying to say?
No,
because the professor says, the former Vice Chancellor says, he paid it plus at a 3% variation. In your files, you're saying that was not sorted out.
Okay, Honorable Chair, I think when it comes to payments fully, the documents are really in finance, but I'm privy to them as part of, yeah.
But any payment is initiated by procurement, getting the receipt note, etc., attaching the PO and the remaining schedule. How would finance pay without you initiating any payment?
They are there, and I'm part of the system in terms of doing the payment, Honorable Chair. The issue here is that, again, this particular work was done in some years that some of us came in the other day but we have the records. And the payment forgers, as I knew I was coming here, went through and realized that there were 3 fee notes. One of them was not applied. One of them was never done at all. But the first 2 were paid.
So you're disputing auditor's query?
Yeah, through fees.
You are disputing the auditor?
Through my...
Because it has consequences. No, I want us to be on the same page, Mr. Procurement. What's your name again?
I'm Wilson Bate,
so,
Chair,
in your view,
Chair.
the opinion of the auditor is not right? We've had this before, and we've gone that route, and it did not end well.
Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, that on the records that I have, is that variations were not paid.
So you are putting to us that no variation was paid?
Yeah, they were only applied for.
You are on record that no variation was paid?
I'm certain, sir. I'm certain.
You are certain?
Yeah.
Suppose we challenge you otherwise?
Up to where I am and what I know, to my knowledge, up to where I am now, is that only 4.7.
Relax.
Honorable Chair.
Just relax. Auditor. No, first before the auditor. Professor, did you pay for this?
Sorry, Chair. I had written for access to these documents, but I just want to read this.
Were you given access to these documents?
No.
Why?
I'm seeing them now, but...
No, wait. Why? Prof, why didn't you facilitate that? So you wanted the professor just to come or you wanted him to fail?
No, Honorable Chair, I think if you can confirm, Prof, you received an invitation.
Just a letter of invitation from Moi University and also from the Secretariat, but there was no documentation.
Did you ask for it?
Yes, I did.
Through whom?
In my letter to Honorable Chair, to your Secretariat, that I was pleading for the document so that I would prepare myself.
Did you raise it to the VC?
No, the VC's letter came after I had gotten communication to come here. So I thought it was just a follow-up.
So did you pay? Do you remember paying?
Yeah, I just want, Chair, with your permission, seeing these documents, a payment was done on 5th of May of 2,013,000 Kenya shillings, which I approved on signature, and this was under certificate number given to me by the architect. The second payment was on 31st of July, 2017, as Professor Kosgei had said, of 2,687,000. Again, paid against a certificate and issued to me, detailed by the quantity surveyor of the university. And I approved the payment on 16th of August, 2017. That's the last. I did also, I would like to inform this Honorable House that I did approve the variation, but it was never carried to payment stage, and then I left Moi University. So that's my position.
Auditor?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What we are saying is that the amount which had already been paid as per our report is 4,818,280, which of course, as we have stated earlier, was 92% complete.
Auditor, was the variation paid?
The variation, no, they paid 4.8 million.
Was the variation paid?
They didn't pay.
Okay. Is the project complete?
The project is not complete, it's stalled.
Prof, why would you pay for a project more than what the contractor has done?
Honorable Chair, by this time, the project was complete in the initial contract. And so we then wanted a pantry house and an office, 2 buildings next to the gate. That's what caused the variation.
No, Prof. Yes. The auditor is talking of the monies you paid.
Yes.
The project you paid for is left at 60%. We now not going into that variation.
Okay.
The auditor is talking about the project, the initial project.
I'm not sure. That's why I really needed documentation, because I also know there was no way.
What we are trying to say, Prof, you overpaid for a project, one that was not completed, but you paid the full amount.
I cannot ascertain because I don't have that documentation.
Prof, the auditor is telling you, he's our prosecutor.
Okay.
What do you mean, okay, Professor?
I'm saying if that's the auditor's position, I abide by it, but I know this last payment that we were doing, the contractor had actually done what was initially expected of him.
Auditor? The 60%, is it the overall including variation or the initial contract?
The 60% is on the initial contract.
So the gate was not finished?
It was not finished, but the payment was
full.
Actually full payment.
Prof, it is either we have a gate or there's no gate. Professor Kosgei, is there a gate?
Honorable Chair, members, we have a gate.
This specific one?
This specific one is still standing.
Is it complete?
No. I think there's an aspect to it.
Wait,
Chairman.
is it complete?
No.
Professor Iro.
Chairman, possibly when he is answering the same,
it shouldn't be combining with all other matters which pertains to that gate. Because we have been meant to understand that the gate was abandoned, and there must have been a quality, whatever quality surveyor of the university, and the architects too, who had come up with this gate. And they knew that the gate was supposed to be placed where, so that at least the university cannot incur any loss in case of it happens to be either on the Keller Road or any other place. And the professor at the same time tell us why he paid for a complete job, yet the job was not complete as you're asking him. And then also tell us why he decided to build a gate on a place which was not viable or which was at the wrong place. Because we understand from the current professor, the reason of why the gate was moved to another site is that this one was found to be standing on a road, public road. And there were surveyors and other qualified people in the same university, of which the university is also teaching the same degrees. And it happened that now, he behaved like just a peasant in the village who can just plant a building his farm wherever he wants. And the professor also gave us that idea of why the gate was moved.
Prof, it's alleged that the location of the gate was wrong, and since when, have you been there since you left?
Yes, of course. May I clarify that?
No, have you been there?
Since I left Moi, no.
Yes.
No.
That gate was abandoned, and with an allegation that the location was bad on Akera Road or something. Then another one was constructed.
Sure.
Now, the concern of the committee is, didn't you have people to do some reconnaissance or something of that kind?
Chair, even more, a more important question is, normally in government, before payment, there's supposed to be an evaluation team to go and look at the work completed and stages, and then report, and then now tell the Vice Chancellor to pay. I don't know whether there were these stages, because I'm very sure there were two stages when you pay. Did did you pay on the recommendation of a committee or a subcommittee?
Can you answer all those questions?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. First of all, we need to get the picture clear. When I went to Moi University, there was a gate. And this gate we are talking about was built where that gate is. So if there are other evaluations that place the gate elsewhere, anybody who has gone through Moi University knows where the gate was placed by the founders of that university. And that's where we put the gate. We did not move a meter away from there. And I got this from the planning and the master plan of the university. If there were other shenanigans about the location of a gate, I submit I would not know.
Prof, shenanigans is not parliamentary language.
I withdraw.
There's no shenanigans here. Nobody is shenaniganing.
No, I withdraw. But I'm saying...
And apologize.
Yeah, I apologize, Chair.
Proceed.
So we put that gate where the existing gate, where the original gate was, superimposed, restructured it, but in the same location. If Kera and other documents indicated that the gate was off, then that was done 30 years, 40 years before some of us went there.
Okay, go to the next question.
That's my position. On the payments, I would like us to, and that's why I was seeking for the documents. And for example, the letter of 5th May 2017 from the chief architect of the university to the vice chancellor, forwarded here with, please find certificate number this, dated this, for Kenya shillings 2,013,000, only payable to Competency Group Limited. The certificate is to be paid as follows. And they detailed, and the total amount. So I approved this for finance to pay. So there was a committee that assesses and gives up. I think, Chair, maybe the point of, I have to use my word, the point of difference is when we desired now to have a pantry and an office, 2 buildings on the site. So I submit that that's what then caused the variation. But according to the documentation, no payments were done beyond the 4 million.
But Prof, we have agreed that no payment was done beyond 4 million. But the 4 million you paid was 92%. Okay? Work done was 60%. Are we together? So the auditor is talking about the original contract. They did. Yeah, honorable members, Honorable Ruto applied to be enjoined as amicus, a friend of the committee. And Honorable Ruto, introduce yourself, and I hope you'll abide by the rules of being amicus.
Thank you, Chair. I'm CPA Ruto, Member of Parliament, Kases constituency, where the institution Moi University is situated. And I did follow the proceedings of this committee, and I requested that also, being a representative of the people, I get acquainted of what is happening. And as a Member of Parliament, I know the rules. Thank you.
You admitted, but you know you will not say anything. You can see everything, you can hear everything.
Thank you.
But you can't say anything.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Prof,
yes,
what you are introducing on the variation were not done. We are talking about the original contract, as it were, for the gate, that you paid when work was not done.
And that chairman, where I was coming in.
Yes.
You allow me. Prof, you can just enlighten this committee
of the extent of work done by the time you are paying, because there must have been an initial contract before you came to variation. The initial contract, was it met by the time you are paying before you came of thinking of doing some variations to put up, paint the house, and that extra house you are talking about? That initial contract which was talking of the gates, was it honored to the dot? That's the question.
Thank you, through the chair, honorable members. That's why I needed the documentation of this process, so that I can go through and see why. Because I do not see a payment being done if the works were not completed. So I submit, Chair, that I have insufficient documents to carry my argument forward.
The committee directs that you provide Professor Iro with all the documentation related to this. Honorable members, we are scheduled to have a joint meeting between ourselves and the Committee of Lands in Moi University. I think it would be appropriate that when we are going on over the issues of land, we will be able to see these things physically and then make a determination of the same. Unless very necessary, Honorable.
Very necessary, Chair. You say the gate has been abandoned, so I presume there is a new gate, Professor Koske. 24 million.
There's a new gate.
So 5 times the famous Aero gate. And lastly, just to add on what the chair mentioned initially, if you kept to the law of not exceeding the set limit of variations, by going out and asking for new tenders, we wouldn't have been where we are. It would have been considered as a separate job and will not be where we are. Thank you, Chair.
So Professor Koske, provide every documentation to Professor Iro latest Monday. Okay?
Do that, sir.
So that now we handle that issue on the ground. But Professor, why did you change location of the gate?
The location.
And at how much?
Honorable Chair, when we were crumbling this idea of the gate, this one which was abandoned, then we realized it was outside. 80% of it was outside.
Who abandoned it?
Me and the council.
So why did you abandon it?
We abandoned it, Chair, because we received information or a letter from Kera saying the gate was on the highway. And we have a map, evidence document.
Did you listen to Professor Iro responding to that question?
Yes, I listened.
Is it true that the dreamers and founders of the university, that is where they envisaged, that was there when the initial gate was?
May I request?
No, Prof, just yes or no?
No. Because the original gate is still there. This one is slightly away from that one.
How far away?
Maybe about 10 meters.
Okay, at how much?
The new gate?
Yes.
Yeah, at 24 million, and we have documentation fully.
Professor?
Yes.
You are down on financial issues. As a university, you need to practice austerity measures very seriously, more than anyone else. Why couldn't you just complete the gate that Professor Iro had started? Ekera is a government institution.
Thank you, Honorable
And
Chair.
if the initial gate was 4-point-something million, why do you go to 24 million, Professor?
Honorable Chair, there are 2 aspects to this. One, the 4.8 was not going to complete that gate. As you are told by the auditor, it was supposed to take, the level it is 60%. The valuation that was done by the internal architect who was designing the gate was 12 million. The works million. The gate that we have is more comprehensive, and what we were looking at is the face of the university, as Professor Ira has put it. So it is almost twice.
Do you have the Kera documents to show that it's on the road?
Yeah, we have it, sir.
Yeah, give Honorable Malimu. Malimu, you check through them. But Professor, why, why 24? You know, 24 million are 2 houses. Yeah.
We did everything as per the queue, Chair.
So, a gate?
Yes. And when you come down.
Any technical officer in your team?
Yes.
Any technical officer who was on this project? Yes, sir.
Kipkule is there.
To what extent were you technical?
I did building economics. So, and I'm a senior maintenance officer in the university.
So,
yes.
24 million?
Yes, there's the aspect of the gates. There are cab rows, which are walkways, which are almost 100 meters long. There are security lights. There is a wall. There was the drainage to support the gate. There was ICT. There was CCTV cameras, which are part of the project. Unlike now, the initial one, which was only the gates and the security cards.
Do you have the BQs?
Yes, we have. We didn't come with it, but we have them.
How can you not come with them, and it's a subject of, yeah. Prof, there's something wrong with you and documentation. Earlier on, you had to take us through this. The other time, we had to go through this. It's 2 months now.
The Honorable Chair, with your permission, we focused on the query that was there, the earlier gate. But
we rule, this committee rule, that when you have a query, you come holistic. Yes, Honorable Sir.
But Chair, is not only documentation. There is the Airo gate, Professor Airo's gate, which with a 33% variation was to bring us to 6.2 million.
9.2.
9.2, right?
Yeah.
Because the initial figure was what, 4.7. In any case, 9.2. Now there is the, I think, Golden Gate, the Professor Kosgei gate, which must be a golden gate, that costed 24 million. Are you trying to say the technical focal point that in what the earlier Vice Chancellor was putting in place, there are no cabros, there were no simple cameras? What will camera cost? It's just the wiring, and I'm sure the cabros were there, right? It was part of the plan. Because what we see in the reign of Professor Kosgei, documentation is poor. There is over expenditure. There is this case of give me 5 minutes, let me, you know, Professor, you're not in touch. You're not in control as the driver of this institution. And it comes up on every case that comes up. What is the problem?
Thank you. With great
Prof,
honor.
what the Honorable Member is saying, there were 2 aspects added on Professor Airo's gate. Allow us to call it that way for the sake of this meeting. There was a pantry and there was an office. Still, that was still just in less than 10 million. Does this get, do you have these 2 things, 2 aspects? Justice. Pass it round. Do you have those aspects?
Yeah, we do. We even have a cell. We have.
Do you have an office?
We have 2 offices. Yes.
Pantry?
Yes, we do. Washrooms, CCTV. We have street lights. We have cabros. We have a wall.
Honorable members, let's exhaust this when we sit, because we are going there.
I think the best would be if we are there. We get there and then we see exactly what is happening, what is on the ground, and with the documentation, Chair.
Prof, there is a concern that students are taking 1 year to graduate. Why?
Honorable Chair, we have two groups, stroke 20 and stroke 2021. So there's a group that finished in December 2021, and those are the ones who have delayed, the only group that has delayed. Reason being, they finished their exams, and then first thing Senate said, we are going to have only one graduation. Number two, they were accelerated group. Number three, we normally do our external examinations moderation in June. So that's why there's that delay. But it is the only group that has delayed.
Professor Hiro, we may release you.
Yeah, Chair.
You get the documents and then be prepared. We will tell you the day we are going so that you can join us there.
Thank you, Chairman and the committee. I appreciate the interrogation. This institution is important to us, the National Parliament. Any Kenyan of goodwill center of cohesiveness for our country. So I was glad to come, and I'm glad we have had this information. Just to let the committee know. And me and Professor Kosgei, we sit on many committees. He's my chair in Kennet.
What is Kennet?
Kennet is a Kenya network, the one that supplies fiber optics across universities in Kenya and research institutions, and I'm the chairman of the audit committee. So there's no bad blood between us. Thank you. Thank you.
Asante.
Just for your info,
yes,
that from one of the persons that we support from the constituency, the gate is completed, yes, but they have got many buses, and those buses cannot go through because of the design. But I guess we'll see it when we get there.
May I clarify that, Chair? No, because we have buses that come into the university.
Honorable Krima, that is what I
I said we want to clarify about the drivers.
The only thing, Chair.
I'm sorry, Chair, but we want to clarify about the drivers and the buses.
No, the only thing, Chair.
Don't answer that. We will see it when we come. Yeah. No, I have a duty to protect my clients. We have another question, honorable members, to the
Chair,
the council.
Chair, before you conclude, I wanted to ask when they come next week, we need to have all the tender documents and contracts.
We are going.
Oh, we are going there.
Our committee.
But they should prepare.
Yeah.
All the documents.
Yes. That's valid. Professor, we will not excuse you on issues of documentation. Chairman, now you can see how your professor performs.
We will not let you down.
Right? Give us an explanation as the council regarding
Chancellors, we had 4 registrars. Regarding Chancellors, we had 4 registrars and so on. So the then council decided to do.
There were 24.
There were 24.
And progressively, you've dealt with 12. 12. And 21, 22, 23, 24. 4 years coming to an end. Why didn't you just deal with them?
Chair, by the way, like end of 2023, we had advertised for CFO. We had advertised for another position, but they were non-responsive. Non-responsive in this sense, there were a lot of questions coming in when we were doing the interview regarding the credibility and integrity and so on. And the council was forced to suspend until they were able to find out, because of public participation and so on, to find out exactly what is wrong with these candidates. Yeah?
Honorable,
and then,
Honorable Gagai.
Chair, Dr. Juguna.
Yes.
Doctor.
Dr. Juguna. is leading this committee, you should come out and say the university has a bad reputation. If you're not from the area, your position is political. But for the local staff, we can run a sample from the front desk you're seeing, and you'll see when you advertise positions, they don't attract anybody outside that region. So for you to say that there are issues and questions, and you're not really convincing us. And secondly, do you have positions that have been acting for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years? You have, right?
Position 10 years?
Yes.
I can only talk for the time I have been there.
CFO.
To be fair.
CFO. You've been acting for how long? Your third month. Procurement person. You've been acting for how long? Third year acting. Now, what does the labor law says? Any extension beyond 365 and a quarter days, that person should be absorbed automatically. The Kenyan Constitution, the International Labor Law Organization says that. So we need to find a solution by speaking the truth and directing your team plus the Vice Chancellor to be fair, because this country belongs to all of us. Because if you have an institution that is closed, you're not able to look outside the operational area, then it becomes difficult. So for us to address these issues, let's be really open about it. And number two, apart from the salary figure, which is tied at 480 million monthly salaries, how many staff do you have? And have you done a head count to ensure that you don't have ghost workers? Because you've not been there long enough. But you've been the chair there, I think, for 3, 4 years. Have you done a head count to know that? Because how would you be paying 480 million monthly?
48.
Huh?
408 million.
408 million.
Yeah.
But it's still a lot of money.
Yes.
And yet, you're not even probably paying that salary on time. There are a lot of strikes. What exactly are we doing?
Chair, a very good question.
Chair,
and I wish you allow me to answer.
Chairman, write it down.
Yes.
But I would beg that, you're my friend.
Yes.
I needed to declare interest that you're my friend. So in the same spirit, I want to ask you to remove the hat of a politician. Okay? So it saves us time and just remain factual on the issues.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yes, Honorable Tongay.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I'm looking at the analysis of the status of acting positions, and the question that I want to ask the Chair is, these positions as they are stipulated here, when were they advertised? For how long have they been, the harmonization and all that? The second question, you've told us that this public participation that you are doing. Chair, I'm wondering, how do you do public participation on recruitment? Because you say that you stop the process so that you do public participation. What kind of public participation are you going to do on that?
Chair. Yes, Honorable Sigay, PC.
I want to ask this chair, through you, and the Vice Chancellor, when the last human resource audit was done, because we need to know. And how many members are there in the committee? The latest human resource audit.
And to add on that, do you have the ethnic breakdown composition of your staff?
Okay. Chair, can I answer? Thank you, honorable members.
Auditor, you want to say something?
Yes, thank you, honorable members. I would like this question of HR is very, very sensitive in Moi University, and I would wish you give me a chance I explain.
Briefly, we don't have lots of time.
Yes, please.
I beseech you to remove the hat.
Yes, Chair.
Political hat.
But I beseech you, because I think this is the crux of the matter.
2 minutes.
Yeah. So, you realize from 2006 to 2015, Moi University was on an expansive program. And my colleague here, Professor Mibei, will bear me witness. We helped establish over 10 public universities. Karatina, Garissa, Masai Mara, Maseno, 10 public universities. That meant between 2006 and 2015, we had employed over 1,300 people to support that program. And when this parallel program collapsed, and this we have discussed even with local leaders, because HR is a very sensitive issue. When the program collapsed, so to speak, we continued carrying this burden to today. And there's a question, when you talk about austerity measures, when you talk about harmonization, there is a question, even of stakeholders engagement, and I'm happy that the CPA, Mweshimwa, is here. At that time, because of the weight the university had, we had 4 deputy vice chancellors, we had 4 registrars, so to speak, down the radar, even supportive staff.
Make your point, please.
Yes. Yeah?
Make your point.
So, there is a lot that we have achieved, and there is a lot that we have not achieved. Like the question that...
Point of order, Chairman. Can we have answers direct
Yes.
to what we are asking?
Yes.
Other than lectures, because when the chairman tells us that they established 10 campuses, 10 universities, is he telling us that each established university did not go with his staff? It is still carried by more university? He should save us that irony, because he has been singing it since the morning about the way they have established.
Chair.
They expanded, but after expansion, Karatina now stand on its own. And already standing on its own, he cannot have those excuses up to now. No.
Chair, it is a fact, even when the audit is
it's
done.
not an exchange. We just need to have order.
Yeah.
Chairman,
yes.
When you establish a university, say Karatina University, okay? Then you have staff, you employ staff. When you part ways, that it's now an independent institution, it remains with the staff, right? You bring them back to your payroll.
Not really. Some said we are employees of Moi University.
Ah, no.
And we want to continue remaining employees of Moi University. And that's a fact, because the HR
But very quickly, Chairman, you need to have a policy on that, because it is draining the university.
Yes.
You cannot have a wage bill of 400 million.
Yes.
You cannot. You cannot, Mr. Kosgei. You can't.
Sure.
Yeah, and because, I don't want us to belabor in it a lot, because it is a forensic audit issue.
Yes.
So, honorable members, I wish that we leave it there, because we are coming to it to address it properly after the results of the...
But Chair.
Yes.
We will not see the number of staff. I think, Chair. Stop.
Which chair?
Chair University, not Chair PIC. Chair University. Dr. Juguna.
Yes.
Stop the politics. If we have to help you, you have to be clear. There were simple questions. How many staff do you have in Moi University? Question 1. You have to answer that. 2, do you have among those, have you done an head count to know if they are ghost workers? That was my second question. So we just need answers. And thirdly, what jobs are these people doing? Those 3 questions. Not to take us round and round and round. Then we'll ask for supporting documents for that. Because when we come there, we can see the gate, we can see other things, but we won't see the whatever. Until you tell us, and when they are doing the forensic audit on the staffing, that is what we need to know. Because we link it to mandatory deductions, an example, NHIF, etc., to get to know that. But answer these 3 questions without taking us in circles.
Honorable members,
maybe,
may I guide this way? Honorable members. Honorable members.
I wanted to ask here, I have not been answered.
Yes.
About the last time human resource audit was done.
Well, Prof, I mean, Doctor, just
if I may,
just to go to the point.
We have.
When was the last time?
I don't know when the last audit was done.
Okay.
But as at now, there is an ongoing audit. Yes. Okay. The other one, in terms of how many employees we have, VC,
Yes, thank you, Honorable Chair and members. We have 2,959 staff members, out of which 818 are lecturers, and the rest are admin and support. We also have the last audit that we did externally was 2016, done by KPMG, and then the last audit that we did internally was 2019, Honorable Chair. I think there was a pardon?
Do you have ghost workers?
We don't have. We don't.
Yeah, honorable
and
members.
Then the other question, Honorable Chair, was the ethnicity. We have a document here, document 11, showing the distribution of everybody.
Oh, thank you.
And where they come from.
Just to guide you, Chair of the university, the committee made some rulings earlier in the day pertaining that HR group called what? PKF. I hope you understood.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So when you talk of an audit going on,
yes,
we get scared.
We are with you.
You will not spend any single cent, public money,
understood,
to pay consultants. Okay? Just live within the directives of our earlier rulings. So,
understood.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would also want the chair to know, in this wage bill deficit, every month we have 168 million.
But I don't want to belabor, but Chairman.
Yes.
When you have people, you are starting universities, instead of being absorbed by those universities, you want to entertain them by saying they want to be employed by Moi, you will have that skyrocketing. Yeah, and that is your problem, by the way. And Chairman, as we said in the morning, someone will bear the cross of where Moi is going.
That's okay. And as a chair, I welcome the forensic audit, because the truth will be laid bare.
It is not in your space to welcome or not to welcome. There will be a forensic audit anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. So, honorable members, the Vice Chancellor supplied documents today, making it very difficult for the auditor, who are our main prosecutors, to go through the documents and then to help us, guide us through prosecuting the audit queries. So, we have dealt with the University Council, number 5. So number 1, 2, 3, and 4, we will deal with them on the ground when we come. Sawa, Chairman. Sawa, Professor. Yes, so that we make progress.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Auditor, now we move to Karatina, Moi, and the National Bank of Kenya.
Thank you, Chair. We move to our reports for the year 2021. We have a paragraph under lawfulness to do with Government of Kenya loan. The statement of financial position reflects the GOK loan totaling to 231 million as at 30th June 2021. The loan agreement dated 24th April 2008 required Moi University to repay the loan in 10 years at an annual interest rate of 2.5%. The university used the proceeds of the loan to buy Kagochi Training Institute from KTDA to establish Karatina University campus. Records provided for audit indicated that the university, as Moi University, sought the government's consent to assign the loan to Karatina University. The records also indicated that the National Treasury in September 2021 wrote to Moi University seeking confirmation of the outstanding loan balance as at 30th June 2021. management indicated that the National Treasury had approved the reassignment of the loan between Moi University and the Karatina University, and a subsidiary loan agreement had been signed pursuant to which Moi University could repay the restructured loan in biannual installments for 10 years. However, records to confirm this assertion were not provided for audit. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Moi.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. As we put last time, we asked the ministry submitted our part of the loan agreement, and we were pursuing 249. But we've learned since morning, Honorable Chair, that Karatina have actually signed their part, and the VC can confirm that. It's only that the communication didn't come to us.
Just before the VC speaks, your part was?
41, sorry. Initially, it was, our part is 41,376,243 and 62 cents.
And the Karatina?
Karatina is 194. Sorry. Yeah, with interest, let me make a correction. With interest, Karatina is 216 million. 389,088.
So where are you with your bid?
My bid now is the 41.
Where are you with? Have you paid?
Not yet, because we are still waiting for the agreement to come, and we received communication from the CS. The PS. There's a grant for us because of the already accepted institution.
Taking what? To take the loan as a grant?
Yes.
To write it off?
Basically.
Where are we headed, Wanavisi? That you take loans, you use the finances, then you want the treasury to write off.
We didn't misuse Honorable Chair. In fact, the former VC is here. He'll tell you.
But it means you can't pay.
Yes, at the moment.
By the time the treasury wants to come in, it means you cannot pay and the institution is going down.
It is part of our pending bills, Chair. What we did was to pay the 18 million, which was very clear, the principal. The challenge came in when we wanted to now separate the two, so that Karatina does its bit and we do our bit.
Karatina?
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. The figure that has been indicated by the VC Moi University that was apportioned to Karatina University, 216 million, that is correct. That was arrived at after many meetings where we did the reconciliation, and we signed an agreement between Karatina University and Moi University in 2016. We have documentation to that effect, Mr. Chairman.
But the VC said you haven't.
Yes.
You haven't signed.
Mr. Chairman, Moi University was not aware that we received communication from the Ministry of Education of the loan from the Treasury in 2022, March 2022. We signed and returned the same to the Treasury through the Ministry of Education, and we have documentation to that effect, Mr. Chairman, Honorable Chairman. However, we have not received communication back from the Ministry or from the Treasury.
So are you paying or you're not paying?
Mr. Chairman, Honorable Chairman, we have not started paying. For this reason, we have not received that signed loan by the Treasury. That is one, Mr. Chairman. In our letter returning the signed loan agreement to the Treasury, we requested that the same be waived. Honorable Chairman, Honorable Committee, for these two simple reasons. One, when Moi University bought the campus, it was to repay the loan using money generated by the campus because of the self-sponsored programs that time. We do not have those students. That is one, and therefore the income is very little, actually non-existent as we talk. two, Mr. Chairman and Honorable Committee, all public institutions, none has been required is the premises on which it is established. So on that basis, took over this facility by way of the order of 2010. That is the point at which really this loan should have been waived off. So we have requested for waiver of that so that this public entity is not required to pay the premises on which it is established. Mr. Chairman, that is really our request up to this day.
Let me ask you, you bought this institution from whom?
Moi University bought the Tea Training Institute on which it established its Central Kenya campus. That is what later...
Owned by?
It was owned by Kenya Tea Development Agency, KTDA.
But that's a national, that's a government institution, right?
It was private.
KTDA?
It is private.
Okay.
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Kakai.
Thank you very much, Chair. Vice Chancellor Karatina.
Yes, Your Honor.
You took the documents back to the Ministry, Treasury 2000? No, 2022, right?
2022.
We are in 2024.
Yes, sir.
Now, where you sit, 2 years down the line, you've submitted this important document, and you've not followed up. Is that competency? Is that being competent enough from where you sit? And secondly, how comes that you cannot communicate with your peer who managed to come, initiate the process of buying the campus, that you've gone to Treasury and is completely unaware? And I'm sure there are forums where you meet as Vice Chancellors. And again, in your both universities, you're teaching degrees in communication, effective communication.
Karatina, it's a situation where you have a son.
May I respond?
And the son gets to a point that he feels is man enough, more than the father. Honestly, you owe an apology to Moi, to the Vice Chancellor of Moi University, for just not communicating.
Your Honor, that's not the position. We have worked with Moi University. We did all the reconciliations until we signed an agreement between ourselves and Moi University. And then from there now, the Treasury is the one that was to assign the loan that was due to Moi University, now assigned to Karatina University. Those communications were coming.
Okay, point of order.
I want to hear the Vice Chancellor Karatina telling us that at some point he informed his colleague that actually the agreement we signed, I've already taken to the Treasury. Did you at one point communicate with him?
There was no requirement for that communication, Chair and Honorable Committee. For this simple reason, if you could hear me, Moi University received communication from the Treasury through the Ministry directory. As a matter of fact,
VC Moi had a paper here. He has a document, a loan document, where he assigned one part, and the other part was waiting for you. Actually, the purpose of us calling you, it is because the VC is not able to explain why you can't sign. But I think from the CS presentation in the morning, it is now water under the bridge, because the CS of Education has written to Treasury that they convert that into a grant.
To be waived, Mr. Chairman.
That's what it means.
Yes, but the correct position, Mr. Chairman, is this. Moi University signed its part strictly because that was between the Treasury and Moi University. We were not aware about it until we received your invite here, Mr. Chairman. That is the same way that we received ours directly from the Treasury through the Ministry of Education. We did our part. And that is why Moi University was not aware of what we did. We also didn't know.
VC, thank you for coming. Karatina.
Before he goes.
Yeah.
because I know we'll be meeting them again. Are your salaries up to date? Number one. Number two, the statutory deductions, are they up to date? And lastly, the pensioners, those who've retired from your institution.
Very quickly.
Number 4, how many students do you have? Yeah. And number 5?
That has escaped you.
How are the finances of the university compared with other universities?
Are you afloat? Number 5.
Number 6.
Yes.
Is we want to know.
I have number 7.
What is the acreage of the land you have, and what is the money you get from internal revenue from this?
Yes, but we see, I'm afraid you're not writing anywhere.
Chair, they are coming too fast. Thank you.
Someone is writing for you. How many officers did you carry?
I have 4 others with me, so we are 5.
And they're earning, right?
Yes.
So they should do your work, make your work easier. So I can see Madam is writing.
Yes.
So number last.
Thank you, Chair. Mine is first to appreciate VC Karatina. She is doing a good job. But I think last 2 weeks, there were some issues in the institution. Students were complaining about overcharging in terms of accommodation outside the university. How did the students were recalled back? I have an interest because my niece is there. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you for declaring interest. So VC?
Thank you.
At least you are not a politician, so just go straight to the...
Thank you. Beginning with the last one, we have been engaging the ladrons in our neighborhood from even before the students had a confrontation with them. So we have continued that engagement. We had a meeting with them on Tuesday last week before we recalled the students, and we have reasonably addressed the issue of undue rent increases. We have been on it. That is the way it is, Mr. Chairman and Honorable Committee. The next question was acreage. We have 50 acres, Mr. Chairman. We have been trying all means possible to get a little more land for our development. Of the 50, about 15-20 acres are not favorable for development unless with very heavy cost, but we are trying, Mr. Chairman. The next one is...
Number of students?
The number of students, we have 11,500 as at now.
Any activities on your farm?
Yes, we have some tea farming and also some forest farming, Mr. Chairman.
How much does it give you annually?
The acreage for tea, now we get between 2 and 3 million. Reason, the acreage...
No, don't explain. Just
okay.
I'll stick to the questions.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So how much do you make annually?
From the tea, about 3 million Kenya shillings.
Any other money?
Yes, we do a lot of even conferencing facilities, and of course what the students pay, not necessarily from the government. Our budget this year, we are at about 2.7 billion, Mr. Chairman.
Are you afloat?
Very, very afloat, Mr. Chairman. Our salaries are up to date, pension and all statutory deductions up to date, fully paid, everything fully paid, Mr. Chairman.
Excellent.
Not owing anybody any...
Chairman, that's prudent management compared with the parents or the father who is a cripple and give birth to a noble, well-articulated and intelligent child. So the father should then learn from the child.
Has aged, so you have to...
I think, honorable members, we need to recommend and commend Karatina University, and we will be passing a recommendation to the ministry. We need such managers of resources, and we will encourage all other universities.
To clear my interest first. Since I've heard that he's doing well, I can clear my interest. I was afraid of saying that the VC is my friend. We have grown up together. And, But now I'm proud to say that I'm associated with them.
So thank you so much.
Chair, do you allow the son to learn from the father?
No, the father, you see, it depends. You are a primary school teacher, but your students become professors. So you can go to learn, you go to learn from them. So when we see what we are saying, pull up your socks.
Thank you.
VC Moi.
We go learning, Chair. We don't actually have any barrier. Even recently we are in Kenyaga.
No, we have no problem about that. So don't worry about that. Karatina, we encourage you.
Thank you, sir.
Please don't allow yourselves to go where your father university is. Don't. Because we are trying to figure out how to get Moi back to flotation. So thank you so much and God bless you. Have we audited you?
Yes, you were at our place the other day, Mr. Chairman.
Who? That's the Auditor General.
Auditor General.
So you are coming, don't
yes.
worry.
Okay, thank you.
We will confirm that. God bless you and we're very happy about you.
Thank you. We are honored.
You may leave.
Committee, only that request to waive off that loan and Karatina University.
That will be done.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay. You may leave so that we engage your fathers.
Chair.
Yes, Professor.
I also beg to leave if I have no other.
We still have an issue, Prof.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, Auditor, you remember the issue of money and fraud? Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Now we got to issue on irregular banking of student fees into welfare accounts.
Just a minute. Ndugu wa miwani, enda nyuma, MD kuja hapa mbele. No, mbele hapa mbele. Yes, MD National Bank. Yes, Auditor, please prosecute.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are talking of an irregular banking of student fees into welfare accounts. The reported cash and cash balances excluded checks payable to Moi University received in Nairobi campus totaling to Kenya shillings 7,727,190, which were not banked in the university's bank accounts, but were instead irregularly banked in the Moi University staff welfare accounts. Thank you, Chair.
Moi.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. What the auditor said is true, and this happened in 2018. And when we realized
Was it your time?
It was my time.
Oh, then we can release Professor Hiro. Professor Mivei. Prof, it is never a wish to disturb you from your retirement, but we've got to do what we've got to do. Public interest. So thank you for coming, and what are you doing currently?
I'm actually at the moment doing my own private things, and I'm also an emeritus professor at the University of Nairobi, where I help in innovations to professors and students who are doing research to commercialize their research findings. Yeah.
So thank you. We wish you well in your endeavors, and thank you for the good years you put in for our country. We're always proud of you. Asante, Asante.
Chair, with your permission, Prof, I'll be looking for you. I'm a doctorate student on innovation and entrepreneurship, so I'll be looking for you.
I'll be very, very happy to receive you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Prof. Yeah.
So thank you, Honorable Chair and members. So we discovered there was theft and unlawful handling of our checks by our staff members, where they were banking largely the CDF money into what we call the Nairobi Campus Welfare Account, held at NBK. And when we discovered, then we reported to the anti-fraud police. We have an OP number on the document 6.6, Honorable Chair, and also had an engagement with the bank with a view to...
So they were banking and removing?
Yeah, they were banking and removing.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, how are they succeeding? How did they succeed to remove this money?
What happened is, and my colleague from the bank will tell us this, they were colluding with the bank employees. So they would bank the money in that welfare account and then quickly, as I said, go withdraw it. And we want to...
Okay. Mr. National Bank, a bank is a very sensitive institution. Furthermore, a bank belonging to the government.
Thank you, Chairman and honorable members. Let me just make a point on how this happened. In early 2018, around March, the university staff welfare account signatory, one Caroline, reported to the bank that her signature was forged. So in the process of investigating that complaint, the bank noted that checks that were due for Moi University Nairobi campus account were banked into Moi University Nairobi welfare account.
How?
Through a counter check deposit.
Is that possible? That a check written Moi University can be banked to Moi University welfare, Nairobi campus? Is that
Chair, just allow me to take it again slowly. The Moi University Nairobi campus account was the account due to receive the checks. Moi University.
But they banked into the welfare.
They banked it into account by the name Moi University Nairobi campus welfare account. So there's a word welfare before the last.
Now, MD.
Yes, Chair.
You know, we don't want you to give a long narration. We just knock off bit by bit. Why would you allow your officers, not once, not twice, not thrice? A bank should have a system, okay, of regulating itself against such, that a check belonging to Nairobi, Moi University Nairobi campus is banked into the welfare, and you don't detect that. That's dangerous even to your customers. How?
Chair, that is an irregularity, and if we proceed with the conversation, we'll come to the point on the actions the bank took.
It gets scary that I'm a customer of National Bank of Kenya. My name is Wanami Wamboka. But my check, I've written a check is supposed to come to my account, but then it goes to the account of Kirima. What are you speaking to your customers? Are they safe? Is their money safe? Before you get to disciplining these people, doesn't it scare you? That checks in a different name or banked in a different name continuously, not once, not twice.
Chair, may I respond?
Yes.
As it respond,
yes,
we have been known in the
As you respond, Chairman, as through you, Chairman, as he responds, since you have been on dealing with banks for quite a long period, even before the changes which took place as it is now. Are you saying that the saving clerk at the bank can receive a check with a different name, and even if one name resembles the name of the account, there are additional names in that check. Maybe the account as only as it is now. In my name, you can see it. Moses Krema Nguchine. And then it is written Moses Krema Nguchine Tanui, Zambia. And the bank continues to receive the same.
Through the chair, allow me to make a clarification. All these checks were written Pei Moi University. The intention of the writers of these checks subsequently after investigation, they were supposed to go to Moi University Nairobi campus account. None of these checks had a third name. They were all written Moi University. The accountant at Moi University did choose to bank these checks at Moi University Nairobi campus welfare account. So it's not that these checks had those full names, Chair.
Let me ask you. You know, you're not answering our concerns. Eh? You have a check written Moi University. Of course, you are supposed to bank it in Moi University account. Unless it is written welfare. You know, if Moi University check is banked in welfare account, then that's the fraud we're talking about. Yes.
Because even now I run my farm. I have a farm called Many and Crema Advocates. If I have another account, which means Many and Crema Housing Project account, are you saying the checks which comes in the name of Many and Crema Advocates should be going to that one of housing account, something like that?
Through the chair, no. I already mentioned that is an irregularity for a check to be banked into an account that has got differing names.
Now, another point of concern, I'm looking at your checks. The account is called Moi University Nairobi campus, right?
Yes, Chair.
Why would you receive checks written Moi University?
Chair, those are the gaps in terms of the receiving person in terms when the payments are being made. These checks were banked by an accountant.
Managing Director, by the way, this session is live.
Thank you, Chair.
You are speaking to your customers.
Thank you, Chair, for letting me know.
You are speaking to your customers in the entire country. Are you telling these customers that tomorrow someone will come to the bank with a check and bank in a different name, and because that is supposed to be an employee error, it is okay?
Chair, that is not okay. I mentioned at the start, is an irregularity.
How long did it take you to notice this irregularity other than the auditor's query which came up? Were you aware of the same, or it just it happened that you came to know about it when the auditor's query came in? And when you came to know about it, how did you address it before the university intervened, possibly to tell you that there are some been irregularities and someone has been stopped or someone has been suspended or something like that?
Yeah, even leave alone the name of the account. The accounting number is supposed to be different. Leave alone the number. Leave alone the name of the account.
MD, you are not making sense. A bank is a sensitive institution. Very sensitive. And a bank survives on credibility. Okay? What the member is saying, different names have different bank accounts. account numbers, right? It just does not make sense. Yes, Honorable Maurice.
Thank you, Chair. Head of Finance, Moi University. Were you there when all this was happening? Had you joined the institution?
Yes, I was there, but in another capacity.
Who was there? Who was the person managing the accounts? Who was in the office that time? Where is he? What?
What?
So he moved the trouble to the other side. Now, back to the...
No, Honorable Member, just, this is critical. Give us the details of that officer.
It's called who you said, take the mic?
Mr. George Aduda.
Aduda.
So, clerk, get the details. Yeah, we would like to follow up on that.
My second one, CEO, I didn't get your name properly.
Through the chair, my name is George Odhiambo,
Managing
Director, National Bank of Kenya.
Okay. What is the difference between welfare and tuition?
Through the chair, I'm not a linguist, but I would say welfare relates to a group of people with common interests who've come together for a particular purpose and have objectives set to achieve. Tuition would be a charge levied on services related to education.
Now, in your bank, I'll give you an example from the CDF perspective. When a check is given to a student to Moi University, there is a covering letter. It can be several students, it can be one, with the ID number and the account number to be deposited in. And we expect that once the university or the TVET or the institution received it, they make a receipt and bring it back. Now, in your institution, when you've been receiving checks from clients, like let's say Moi University, did you have a covering letter telling you that these checks should be deposited in this particular account? And of course, in any bank process, you also need some time, even if there's no later, there is a bank account written on the back. Has that been, is that the case, or yours is a very unique bank?
Through the chair, these checks do not come with a schedule to the bank. What they come with is a check with account number on the back of the check written by the person banking the check. So that account number is on the back of the check. The account of the welfare and the tuition account have different account numbers.
Were you in the institution when this was happening?
I was not in National Bank of Kenya, but I was in KCB Group because National Bank of Kenya became part of KCB Group in 2019. This time, National Bank had not become part of KCB Group.
Now, if we say that it takes two to tangle, someone within your organization and at Moi University colluded to try and do what they did, will we be misleading? Or according to you, because you know this has been an issue, what is your conclusion? Do you think it was an inside game?
Before we reach into the conclusion, there's one thing we want to address here. That it was not just an employee. For you to do such a fraud in the bank, it is a syndicate. You need several people, including the bank manager. Because I believe at the end of the day, you do bank reconciliation. Yeah, if at the end of the day, a bank manager, maybe every day evening or the next day morning, you must, as an accounting officer, you must know how your officers must know how the accounts are performing, right? Yeah, because they receive huge amounts of money every other day. Yeah, so it is...
To add on that, how would you take, when I ask you those questions intentionally between welfare and tuition, how do you take a check that is meant for a public institution and you just put it from tuition account, it's put in the welfare? So that officer or the officers who were there that time, are they still there or they've gone?
Chair, just to cycle back, the branch manager may not necessarily know what check was banked. Checks are banked and they are batched and they are taken to clearing house, which are away from that branch. Just to come to the honorable member's question, putting a check name on the institution's payee into a welfare account is irregular. And I'd say that was a lapse, and the bank has procedures on accepting checks into accounts that involve verification of the account name, the payee name, the amount, signature, and other details. So that lapse is treated through procedures, through the training and disciplinary processes where lapses do occur.
How do you retrain a fraudster? An MD. And when I go to the bank to bank a check, this check is put in like a thing that reads it electronically. Is it true?
Yes, there's an electronic reader for checks.
Yes. So what is that supposed to help?
It's supposed to verify that the check paper is genuine check, is not a counterfeit.
Okay, how do you retrain a fraudster?
We do not.
I hope that didn't come from you.
Chair, these checks were not banked through an individual, a single person. Majority of them, granted, were banked in one branch. 2 tellers handled them, but a number of them were also banked in several other places. So
banking
when you're training
and withdrawing, they were withdrawing this money.
These checks were
and that is why the bank took in liability. And you see, our issue with the university, once the bank admits liability, you don't end it there. There is a restitution.
Chair, let me put it this way. Allow me to change gears a bit. Professor Kosgei, on a monthly basis, a banking institution receives what we call bank reconciliations, or even daily or weekly or something. How comes it took you this long to detect this misnomer? How comes? Because there is those feedback and CEO that you normally do, right? You run reports to your major clients like Moi University. And if you are running those reports, how comes, Professor, on your side, you are not able to find out there's this money that is going on the welfare account and it's supposed to be school fee? You should have been able to capture it.
In fact, you should have a relationship manager.
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Kirima.
Chair, mine is just to ask the bank manager, the professor.
No, he's the MD.
The MD.
Bank manager is a very small person in the bank.
The MD.
This is the overall man in National Bank of Kenya.
Sorry for deposited and what transpired. I have not heard you telling us that somebody has been charged in a criminal court, in a court of law, because of perpetuating fraud. Either whereby one has been charged, sentenced, and surcharged for the fraudulent action which was perpetuated. Especially if it comes to your clerks, the ones who used to receive these checks, because you see, when it comes to receiving a check, there must be a clerk who received, stamped, and issued a receipt of the same, because that's a procedure to show that you are banked. All those, as we are talking, is that we are hearing that somebody has been transferred to another institution to continue perpetuating the same fraud. That's a university, on the part of the university. What about your side? Maybe the university, as it is.
Through the chair.
Before you answer, as through the university, on the part of the university, when you see the VC just suspend somebody who has pulled public money, banking, and then they're only later withdrawing through another door, and you hear that somebody has just been suspended, it means connivance. Parties have been conniving, and they must be so much knowledgeable about it. That's why they thought that the only solution is to transfer and not to punish or to charge. So how can you address us on that one, MD?
Through the chair, thank you so much, Honorable Kirima, for the question. May I also request that when you ask me a question, I'm allowed to answer. I would have answered all those by now.
It's sometimes in MD, sometimes you take.
Honorable members. When MD, you don't create your own rules here.
Yes, there are rules in this house.
When a member asks a question or questions, please note them down. It is not in your space to decide how many you want to answer at a time or how many you don't want to answer.
Chair, is a misunderstanding. I've noted all the questions. What I'm trying to raise
Don't worry, continue noting.
I need to answer questions when I'm allowed to answer.
You will allow you to answer them.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Honorable PC?
Chair, I wanted to ask the VC whether at any given time your internal auditors were able when there was a problem and whether it was brought to your attention.
Yes, Mwalimu teacher.
Thank you, Chair. I also want to know from the CEO the total amount of money which was misallocated. And also,
the word is not misallocated. They fraudulently diverted the money.
Okay.
Yeah. Knowingly and fraudulently.
Please, and I also want to know, being the CEO is supposed to be receiving reports at certain times. So what kind of reports were they discussing apart from this? And I also want to know the action. I want to know the action the CEO took on the staff concerned.
Yes, Honorable, okay.
And Chair, to get even deeper into it, it will be interesting to pick that account and look at the activities. Like the deposits, how frequent were they being withdrawn? You just look at the account activities, because you'll say a lot. And that you expect that sitting on the Moi University side, in the account, you're able to detect why is it now money all of a sudden has been diverted to this account of welfare, and how comes again the withdrawals are very high. So we'll also request through you, Chair, that information is availed for analysis.
And lastly, Bwana MD, assuming I have a personal account with you, and this kind of thing happens, I take you to court as a bank. Okay? Generally, because you've dealt with such issues, and you've admitted liability, and that is why you went ahead and paid back the money. Am I not supposed to be, the court will direct that the bank pays me? Yes, am I not supposed to be compensated? Now, on the part of the Moi University, why didn't you pursue this matter? Or you sat and had a domestic arrangement between yourselves so that you end the matter there, that National Bank just returned the money silently, and that's what they did, and Bwana VC, proudly, that's what you told us. No, there's no money lost, they just returned the money. No. So let's start with the VC. I'm sure you have a couple of questions.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Indeed, we do our reconciliations every month. And this took place between 30th May 2018 to September. So what struck us as a university was with these outstanding checks. So we queried, why are they outstanding for that long? So that's what now when we dug in and we realized, we went to the bank and we realized they were not actually anywhere in the account of the university. So subsequently, Honorable Chair, we reported to the anti-fraud units, and I think we were frustrated a little bit because we were trying to get communication from the MD, and there was a lot of, not the current MD, and there was a lot of sort of
cover-up.
I would want to say almost something like that. So they agreed to come after we wrote to them on the 28th of 28th, on the 15th, not the 28th, and then 11th of 2018, and then again 2019 subsequently. So they came. They preferred to come all the way to the university, and we had a discussion. But we said to ourselves, let's report this thing, which we reported on on the 15th of January because we were not getting any good direction. And we listed all the checks and indicated our staff who were involved. There were quite a number of them were Arkinoti Beninanjeri, Chris Mwende, and Edward Natekwa. So when we had the discussion with the MD, then we told them it's their responsibility to take care of our money because they were saying we share, not a loss. But we say we stood and said.
Sorry?
They were indicating we share the loss.
They said it was whose responsibility?
They said because
it was the institution's responsibility to take care of the money in the bank.
No, the involvement of our people and their people. But we say as a university, no, they are supposed to be our client. I mean, we are their clients and our money is supposed to be safe. So we gave a notice on the 5th of February 2020 and demanded the money back. And that's when they took a step and reversed the money to our account.
Why didn't you proceed to court to sue?
Well,
because you know, Banavisi, this is not your private institution. You're just a trustee of the public, right? Of public interest. Now, why didn't you sue National Bank? Why have you not taken them to court? Yeah, for damages.
Maybe that's something we didn't think of, Honorable Chair, honestly. Yeah.
No, let's allow the MD, because he has so many questions until he was complaining.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Thank you, honorable members. Some of the questions have been answered by the VC, how the detection was made. They discovered they had so many outstanding checks that were not cleared. And when they checked with us and our internal investigation revealed those checks written to Moi University were cleared in the welfare account. And withdrawals were also made in various tranches, not identical in the number of checks and the amounts. The withdrawals were less than the deposits, but they were significantly more than the deposits. The total checks value 65 of them, value 7,727,190, but withdrawals were 8.4 million in that welfare account, meaning that the people who withdrew that money took even part of the welfare account. And after the discovery of this and involvement of Banking Fraud Investigation Department, there was someone who was arrested, where David Michael McCoy as a mastermind of this fraud or deviation of checks to other accounts and subsequent withdrawal. This was charged in court in October 2018, 5th of October 2018, and were witnesses. This person was released on bail of 2 million. Subsequently, he later jumped bail, and I think a warrant of arrest was issued. So that was the person who was charged in court. You did ask also the total which I've mentioned again.
So what is the status of the case?
The case is still outstanding. The case is still not resolved. On the demand of the university on making the reimbursement,
when did you, no, let's deal with the case. When did you last, MD, when did you lastly found the status of the case? Because when you say that he jumped in bill of 2 million.
Yes.
You know, there must have been the one who issued security.
Who was Michael McCoy? Was he part of your bank or part of the university? Or if not, who did he mention?
No, honorable members. Okay. I think the managing director of National Bank is not telling us the truth.
That's what I'm saying. When it comes to the case,
because the managing director has told us in his submission that the criminal matter above was withdrawn under section 87A of CPC by the prosecution after the accused person abandoned court and a warrant arrest was issued. Please explain to us what that means.
Chair, I need to restate that one, that there was a case instituted against Were David Michael McCoy on 5th of October 2018. He was released on bail of 2 million. Subsequently, he jumped bail and the case was withdrawn on 1st of April 2021.
But Bwana MD, you just told us now.
I've referred to a record that I've just been.
But you've just told us the case is in court.
I withdraw that, Chair. The case was withdrawn.
But Chair, but do you know the consequence of not being truthful to this committee?
Chair, there has been a warrant of arrest released.
Mr. Managing Director, do you know the consequence of telling us untruth?
Chair, allow me to speak.
But that, more than that, Chair, there can't be a warrant of arrest where a case has been withdrawn under 87A. It means that charges has been terminated, but the party can be charged their own later. There can't be a warrant of arrest.
Thank you for the guidance. At this point, can I ask my legal director to make that legal comment?
To give us, he is the one who has misdirected to that extent.
When a managing director, why would you tell us untruth?
Chair.
No, why would you sit there saying you want to answer so many questions, telling us untruth?
Chair, I feel that you are not being fair on me.
Because you are telling us lies.
I want to help the process and I don't want to take harassment.
No, nobody is harassing you.
Order, honorable
Chair,
members.
I want to be on record.
Order, honorable members. Mr. Managing Director, we were taking every word you are saying until we realized that you are lying. We have been taking your word until you are lying to us. Is that harassment? Do you know that you are supposed to talk to us on oath?
Chair, I understand if you choose that I take an oath on this, I will.
Why are you telling us untruth? Why are you being untruthful? So, was the case withdrawn or the case is going on?
Chair, the case was withdrawn on 1st of April 2021.
Then if it was withdrawn, it means that then there is no warrant which can be pending. Section 87A, CPC, there can't be.
Through the Chair, Honorable, can I allow my legal counsel to make comment on that particular point?
Bwana MD, you must withdraw and apologize to this committee. We take offense.
Hostile, because he's an hostile participant.
Chair, humbly request you to state the point you want me to withdraw and apologize.
The lies you put to this committee.
I don't want to be general, Chair. I want to be specific.
The case is pending before the court. That the warrant have been issued. All those things which you know that they are not facts.
Chair, I withdraw the statement that the case is active and there's a warrant of arrest. I replace that, Chair, with the statement that the case was withdrawn on 1st April 2021.
Mr. George Odhiambo, you must, you shall, and you will fit into the rules of this committee. Okay?
Well noted, Chair. Thank you.
Proceed with your answers. You had requested your legal person. I don't know if you want to give him your notes.
Chair, it was on the question that I've just withdrawn and apologized. If you allow, we can continue, Chair.
He wants to say something.
Through the Chair, I want to clarify what the MD has said. My name is Willie Tanui. I'm the head of security and investigations. We are the ones who handle the matter.
Are you the legal person?
No, I'm not the legal person.
So you have no capacity. We want the legal person.
Order, honorable members. Order, allow him to say what he wants to say.
What I want to say is that when this matter came We actually are the ones who assisted the university to arrest the culprit. And when the culprit was arrested, he was charged before court, and the matter proceeded until it was withdrawn under 87A of the CPC, and a warrant of arrest issued. The reason why it was withdrawn under 87A is because the person had jumped bail and a warrant of arrest was issued. Every other time the matter was mentioned in court, the police used to say that we are still looking for the accused person. Until the prosecution was compelled to withdraw under 87A so that they can go and look for the culprit who was under a warrant of arrest and he be charged afresh. That is what I want to confirm.
So the police, the prosecution have never produced this person?
Yes, Your Honor, he's still at large.
Just to correct an impression that it was the responsibility of the university to take care of the money. It's not true. It's not true. It's the responsibility of the bank to take care of the deposits of its customers, especially when your employees are colluding.
Through the chair, can I respond?
Yeah.
Now, in fact, this matter, when it was first reported to us, the university officials, it is the welfare university officials who are complaining of withdrawals in the welfare account. It is us, after investigating, that we noted where is the source of this money. And hence the reason why we went back to the university and we detected that there were actual deposits that were deposited, the deposits, check deposits meant for the university that were being deposited in the welfare account. It is us who triggered the discovery of the fraud on the university side. And even following that, we went ahead and assisted the university to arrest the culprit.
I think we want to correct something here. That your employees of the bank were taking checks and depositing in wrong accounts. It is the problem of the bank. Okay? You know, you must accept that responsibility, and I think that is why you paid back the money. You see, don't pull the ball to the university. The only mistake the university did is to have an account with National Bank of Kenya. Yeah, because you have a relationship manager. You have your officers, okay? They bring checks. Instead of putting the checks in the right accounts, they put in the wrong accounts. That is the genesis of this problem. So, Bwana Security Officer, you cannot put the blame on the bank as if you are trying to assist the bank. You are trying to correct your mess. And that is why you owned up and paid the money. I just want us to be on that same page first.
Okay, thank you, Chair. What I wanted also to make it clear, if you look at the face of the check, it has to be very clear. It is indicated Moi University. These checks are university fees paid by students. After it reaches the Moi University, the person who is the custodian of the check will now bring the check for banking. On the check, behind the check, they have indicated a number, an account number to bank the check. The check on the face of it, where it is indicated payee, it is only Moi University, no any other detail. The person receiving will look at the number indicated behind the check. And I'm not saying there was no contributory negligence.
No, Bwana Security Officer.
Yes, Your Honor.
A check to welfare account should read Moi University welfare account. True or false? True or false?
True.
Why would you bank a check in the name of a different name into Moi University welfare account? Whose problem is that? Is that the institution to know, honestly? Is it the VC or the finance man sitting at the university to know that someone is supposed to bank a check in the right account?
No.
That's because, Chair, security officer,
Yes.
2 bank accounts, right?
Yes.
Welfare, tuition. If you receive a check talking about tuition and you put the account of welfare, as a bank, what is the first thing you do? That is a red tape, isn't it? So did you get that red tape? You waited for the university to alert you?
Not really. What, through the chair, I want to say this. On those checks, if you, I think maybe because you don't have the benefit of seeing the checks. If you look at that check, it is only indicated Moi University. There's nowhere indicated welfare or tuition. But there's an account number behind where now you need to bank the check to. Number 2, these checks have been brought by the accountant from the Moi University.
Who had put the number on where to bank?
Yes.
Which was welfare?
Yes.
Now, second question, David Were Michael Mukui, when you did your investigation as an anti-banking fraud expert, how did he come into that? Is he part of Moi University? Was he linked to someone in the bank? Or who is he?
Michael Were was an official of Moi University in the accounts department.
Security officer, there's a point you are missing. Mr. Krima has a company. I want to break it down for you to understand. Mr. Krima has introduced someone to you to be managing that account by way of bringing checks and banking. And this guy comes with a check not complete, not bearing the account name properly. Would you just bank in the account he wants because he works for Krima?
Not really.
Exactly, that's what we're saying. It matters not whether these checks were brought by Moi University or not. Staff or even the Vice Chancellor himself. The law contemplates that anybody could be dealing irregularly. Okay? And that is why you are just supposed to do due diligence, that which is right. Okay? Yeah. Honorable members?
Chair, before that,
let me just
Chair.
mention.
Yes, Honorable Zambia?
Yes, thank you, Chair. I think I've listened to this matter, and it is very clear this was just a fraud between the staff of the university and the staff of the bank. Nothing else. So we need to deal with those the culprits immediately possible, because honestly, if the way we put it, your name, my name are different. We cannot share the same account number. No. So it's just a fraudster between the two staffs of the two institutions.
Chair.
Yes.
I wondered. I just something disturbing me since the security man came in is the fact that he says he was assisting the university. I think that impression,
correct,
is totally wrong. And actually, what you are doing the work of the bank, because the bank got the money to the wrong account, and your staff are liable, yes, morally even.
News which has come from the security officer is that at a particular material time, at a particular material time, the people in charge of the welfare, Moi Welfare, Moi University Welfare Group, must have gone to the bank to complain about over withdrawing of their funds from the account. When they were going to withdraw whatever they were going to withdraw, they found that the amount which they had deposited in the bank was not there. And now they complained. By the time they were complaining, the university was not aware that there was some diversions of the checks to the welfare account, according to the security officer when I listened to when he was talking. And now the university, the bank, the security officer and his team went ahead to investigate why this welfare account has no money, because the owners were demanding their money. And they found that, yeah, the money was withdrawn, and then these welfare people were saying that our money was 2 million or 1 million. But those people, the security people, went ahead to find that other than 2 million, it was about 9 million. So now they went to inquire from the university, and now that's when the university came to realize that, hey, there were deposits from different accounts. Now, those lapses, they affect both sides. But the custodian of the money is culpable, is liable, because it is his duty to protect the money of the university. At the same time, the university itself, the accounting officer, is also liable, because he was not able to know that his money is safe to a certain extent and up to what level. So that's what
Thank you, honorable members. So there are supposed to be two cases here. Person charged from the bank side and the university side. Tell us about the bank side.
Thank you, Chair, and also thank you, Honorable Grima. What you've put in as a summary is exactly what happened. On the question of the charges, who was charged in the bank, we did have some 2 staff members investigated, taken through disciplinary hearing, and I would need to refer if they are still with the bank or not, Chair. But on the side of Moi University, there's only one person that was charged.
No, I'm talking about a person on the bank side.
The person on the bank side.
You don't know.
No one was charged in court.
Why?
The investigation.
And the bank lost money because you paid back the money.
Yes, on the question of the bank lost money is true, and the bank did make a judgment to pay back the money to Moi University on account of the long-term relationship and the business opportunities for then and in future.
That is accepting liability.
And not.
Yeah, why would you pay?
Chair,
and why would you follow the person with criminality on the university side and not the bank side? Honorable members, money was lost. No, honorable, just a minute, Honorable Grima. Money was lost. Because money that was stolen, frauded and returned was 7 point. But the money that they had taken from the account, the money of the check was the balance of?
Chair, the total sum of cash through checks diverted into welfare account was 7,727,190. That is the exact amount of money that the bank paid back to Moi University.
Okay, but the amount that was overdrawn, that was drawn from Moi, from the account was how much?
The welfare account is where the withdrawals were more than that. That was 8,343,000 from the university welfare
account. About 1.3, honorable members, about 1.3 million was lost. Yes. University money.
Chair, if you allow, Chair, we are talking of 7.7 and 8.3 is less than 1 million, Chair. Thank you.
Okay.
Clarification, Chair. Chair.
Before they clarified, what they
very briefly, Honorable Kirima, we want to
yes.
make a
National Bank is a public institution.
Yes.
It's not a private institution. It's our money. It's a public taxpayers' money. That one shouldn't be to the public.
Just
domain.
inform the MD.
And what I'm saying is that it's our money, taxpayers' money. And then out of that, these people who are in charge, because now the public lost money, the one which was paid to the university, to the bank. Somebody must be accountable for the same. Charged those people who were just, I don't know the disciplinary action which the MD took and these people, but somebody must be.
Honorable Kirima, that is where we are headed.
Yes.
Honorable
if
members.
you allow me to explain the ownership of National Bank of Kenya, Chair, if you allow.
We know.
National Bank of Kenya is.
We know, Mr. MD, you don't have to force it on us. That's public knowledge.
Yeah, Honorable Chair, I just wanted to make a clarification to members that the Moi University Nairobi Campus Welfare Account is not a university account. It is a members association. So just clarification. So when we say money was overdrawn, it's not from our account. And I want the MD to clarify that.
So members, these members are, where do they belong?
The members belong to Moi University, but they create their own welfare.
In law, you are disowning them. That there's no relationship between you and the members who form the welfare.
And the account.
And the members who form the welfare.
Of course, those who are members, but the account is not ours.
Legally, these members came together because of, by the virtue that they work for Moi University. So, when don't preempt where we want to go. I can see where you clearly we need to interrogate this further, honorable members, as to why the bank has not charged the persons on their side. Clearly, Mr. Odhiambo was not the accounting officer then. Okay? So, the ball does not fall at his feet. And that is why maybe he doesn't feel responsible enough to respond the way we would like to get the responses. Honorable members, we want to summon the accounting officer of National Bank of Kenya that time, so that we have answers as to why up to now the situation is the way it is. Then two, we would like to know where is this person who was working for Moi University.
Chair.
So that we will...
Chair. Chair, I just want to inquire whether the MD was still there by then.
Who?
The MD. That was still there by
No.
Chair, I became the MD
allow
for
us
Bank
to
of
give
Kenya.
you time to talk. Don't usurp powers that you don't have, right? Yeah, you being unruly. Yeah, please.
But still there is something which we have not that you have talked of the employee of the university. What about this other public servant in the National Bank?
No,
who made the bank rules?
George.
Because they are still within the employment of the bank.
The former MD. You see, honorable members, why we really can't pin down Odhiambo, and I think he knows, it's that he was not the accounting officer. If Odhiambo, if we were dealing with the guy who was accounting officer, things would be very different in this room. So, honorable members, allow us to have George Aduda, who is now at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, who was then finance, right? Allow us to have him here. Allow us to have former MD here. We will consult with our legal teams on where to place responsibility as to why the person who engaged in this fraudulent activities is still at large. So that, honorable members, we will consult our legal teams and our secretariat, and we will communicate. So, honorable members, we are going to communicate to you, Mr. Odhiambo, and the days we will want you to produce the former managing director. And then we shall proceed and give a determination on this matter. Thank you very much. I'm just being reminded. Find out if the people who were engaged in this fraud are still members, employees of your bank. If they are, we'll summon, give us the details, we'll summon them. If they are not, still give us details.
But Chair, he said he had investigated and they were not found culpable, isn't it? Isn't that what you said?
Order, Honorable Kakai.
That's what I heard him say.
We don't want to open a new discussion here. Clearly, the current MD has some cover around him, which makes it very difficult for us to prosecute this case. So we will, if they are still in the bank, we will require you to kindly give us the details. We will summon them. Even if they are not, you still give us the details. We will enforce that they are here.
But Chair, just before you land, final one. We might go round in circles. You might bring in the former MDs. But Bwana MD, if you've not fixed these gaps, have some mitigation measures together with COSGAPE, because the implication for this, you can imagine. Previously, you didn't have parliamentary audits looking into institutions. The work that could be put in by your corporate affairs today, if this sort of gets to the public, Moi University and National Bank again got in another banking fraud scandal. And with this anti-money laundering, you know, it's not very good. So also as we discuss this, get back to the drawing board and fix these gaps for the future.
Yeah, well said, Honorable Member. It is up to you. As I said, the bank is a sensitive institution. Members of the public must trust you. So what you do with that information, NBK, it's up to you. So we shall communicate as to when. Probably in 2 weeks, maximum, we shall call you again. Asante sana.
Thank you, Chair.
And thank you for coming. Just know that this committee has powers of the High Court. Maybe you didn't know. Yeah. So next time, just be civil with us. It doesn't cost anything. Be calm and civil. You can imagine the VC has been with us for now 2 months, and we've been having very hot sessions. And when he feels too hot, he asks for time out. Yeah. So don't worry. You are a public servant, Mr. Odhiambo. Asanteni sana. Thank you for coming. God bless you. So for Moi University, wait for us. Tunakuja huko kwa institution. Thank you, Bwana Vice Chancellor. I actually feel for you because you've been here with us a lot more.
I want to appreciate Honorable Chair and members and
it's not fair because you can see other institutions like Karatina University was here. We did not stay with them for 20 minutes. So he is the one who should be feeling for us, for tying us here.
That is also true. Yeah. But looking at his age. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's also what you're saying is also right because we sit up to 7 on Moi University matters only the whole day from morning. So thank you for coming. Thank you everyone in your delegation. Asante sana. Auditor, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you our staff, Christine and your people. Asante. Na hata media pia, asanteni sana. God bless you. You are allowed to go. Tutakutana tena inshallah. Ruto. Yes. Sema.